Inside their half of the field, away to our right-hand side, the park end here at Goodison. Everton, blue shirts, white socks. Wolves in their burnt orange shirts, black shorts, black socks. And play about to get started with the Italian Crotone inside the centre circle. Wolves playing from right to left as we look down. The referee is Anthony Taylor, who was on UEFA duty this past week. He was in charge of the Champions League playoff between Red Star Belgrade and Young Boys Bern. Here he is today, back in the Premier League. And we wait for the instructions of the fourth official to get things started. Moise Keane up front for Everton. He looks like a coiled spring, ready to launch himself into the Wolves half once this game gets underway. So two Keanes, if you like, for Everton. Michael Keane in defence, Moise Keane up front. And by the way, that is the pronunciation. We have checked with the man himself, Moise Keane. So think David Moyes and think Michael Keane. That's what you got, Moise Keane. Despite the various more exotic type interpretations that have been going around, that's from the player himself. 0-0 at Goodison Park as Lucadinha has possession the left-hand side, turns and gives it back to Yerry Mina. And Everton playing into the sun here. No cap today for Jordan Pickford, who, we'll talk about this in a moment, if he can play the full 90 minutes today, he will set a record, and I'll explain that to you in just a moment as Vinagre for Wolves takes possession off Moise Keane and the ball goes out right in front of Marco Silva for a throw-in. So if Jordan Pickford plays the full 90 minutes today, he will equal the record for the most Premier League matches where you play the full 90 minutes. It will be his 111th game in a row, hasn't missed any of the games and has played the full 90 minutes. The only player who's done that before, Ali Al-Habsi, the old Bolton Wanderers goalkeeper in the past, as Pickford rolls it out to the edge of the penalty area. Lucadinha's pass across to Mina isn't great. Mina with those long spidery legs stretches in and Everton get away with it. It's blasted away and Wolves regain possession inside their own half.
Yeah, nearly a sloppy start there by Everton, just confidently trying to knock the ball around at the back. Lucadinha just trying to dolly one into his centre half, Mina, but Wolves have come and started to press Everton right from the front early part of this game.
Ball played forward for Wolves, too high though for Patrick Crotone, and Vinagre won't get there either as Seamus Coleman comes across, no nonsense defending, and kicks it out for a throw into Wolves' attacking position down the left hand side. So Pickford a goal for Everton, Coleman, Michael Keane, Yerry Mina and Lucadinha the defence. In midfield, Delph and Andre Gomes. Then a three on Richarlison on the right, Alex Iwobi on the left, Gylfi Sigurdsson in the hole with Moise Keane, the striker, up front. Throw in on the left, which Ryan Bennett has come down. He's wiped it on his shirt. He's got a dry ball in his hand. He's leaning right back on the advertising hoarding, sitting on the electronic advertising hoarding, and he wants to get the longest run up he can here. It's still only a few paces, but here he comes. Bennett arches his back, swirls the ball into the middle. Michael Keane jumps inside the 6-yard box and heads it back out towards Bennett, and then Richarlison hesitates just a moment, and then when it bounces up, the Brazilian clears it away. Up to Keane, who won't control, and that goes out for a throw into Wolves.
You always go into these games and you look at the intent of teams, how they set up. Do they go away from home, sit back, try and soak pressure up? That's certainly not the case for Wolves today. They've pressed Everton right from the first whistle. Every time their two centre-halves get the ball, Wolves' two centre-forwards get right in their faces, and they've pushed Everton back. They've won a throw-in. They've put centre-halves in the box, even only 2 minutes into the game. So Wolves certainly haven't come here to get anything less than the 3 points today.
Wolves, who beat Torino in the Europa League playoff on Thursday. Everton, who played in the League Cup on Wednesday. They had to come from behind to beat Lincoln, but ran in 4 goals by the end. Here is Seamus Coleman, who next month will mark 10 years at Goodison Park for Seamus Coleman. Richarlison midway inside the Wolves half gives a lovely crossfield ball to Lucadinha, who gets to within 10 yards now of the Wolves penalty area. Support from Iwobi, leaning back as he sends it in. Sigurdsson's header flashes off target. Nice slick build up. There's intent about that from Everton, and a warm applause around Goodison Park for that first threatening Everton attack of the game.
Well, I think he should do better, Gylfi Sigurdsson. It was very easy that Everton approached down that left hand side. I think it was Alex Iwobi made a run out to wide left, and the wing back Traore had to go all the way with him, giving Lucadinha all the time in the world just on the edge of the penalty area to drift one into the penalty near the penalty spot, and Sigurdsson just tried to glance it towards the far post rather than any real conviction in his header, and it sailed wide. But 3 players in the penalty area there for Everton attacking that cross, so both teams have showed great intent early in this game.
Yeah, good early cross from Alex Iwobi. He's in possession again, the summer signing from Arsenal. What have you made of Alex Iwobi? I know we haven't seen much of him in an Everton shirt. It's just that Arsenal career. He's always sort of been on the fringes of a team. Over the last 2 years playing more regularly, what do you think of Everton spending? I think it's 28 million up to a potential 34 million pounds for the Nigerian.
I think it's a lot of money. You'd expect to get a lot of...
Hang on, a mistake here. Rui Patricio comes out, hit back in by Richarlison, and Wolves' mistake has gifted Everton the early lead here. 4 minutes played, and Richarlison, who scored in the League Cup on Wednesday, gets his first Premier League goal of the season. I think the mistake there was mainly Connor Cody, the Liverpudlian mistake. The back pass to Rui Patricio. We'll get to see the replay here. I'm not sure, Leon, if it's the goalkeeper's fault, but Wolves, in what looked to be a situation with no danger, there's a mess up in a back pass to the goalkeeper, and Richarlison pounces on the loose ball to make it Everton 1, Wolves 0.
Well, it's an absolute shocker from Wolverhampton Wanderers. It's such an easy goal for Richarlison to get into the position to score. It's a good finish from him in the end. He hits it into the ground and ends up in the roof of the net, but the ball's just running through. Connor Cody's trying to shepherd it back to his goalkeeper. His goalkeeper comes running out. Connor Cody then decides to make the pass. The keeper's at all ends up. He just stretches out to stop it going past him into the goal as it is, and all he can do is deflect it into the path of Richarlison, who puts Everton 1-0 up.
Everton away and running. That was bizarre for Wolves. The defender and the goalkeeper were too close really for a back. Either Cody gets out of the way and just lets the keeper take it, but he tried to pass it back from only a foot or so away, and that is a mistake that has been punished. Everton's first shot on target is a goal for Richarlison, who got 2 goals last season against Wolves, scored both at Molineux in the 2-2 draw when these sides met. Everton 1, Wolves 0.
It was the presence of Moise Keane on the shoulder of Cody. Just made Cody have a second thought. Can he allow it to run back to the goalkeeper? He didn't think he could. Tried to make the pass, and Everton end up scoring a goal.
Connor Cody takes a free kick for Wolves from the halfway line. Comes down on the edge of the Everton penalty area. Delph is able to clear it away. Iwobi's miscued touch, though, will return possession to Wolves. Benagra's been caught on the ball, and he needs to be helped out by Ruben Neves. Wolves look shaky, and Everton now have got confidence coursing through their veins.
There's a real bounce in the step of these Everton players, really getting to the feet of Wolves. Any man that's in possession of the ball, Everton are closing down in 2s and 3s, putting real pressure, winning the ball back. Now Wolves, as you said, just look a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. Need to get their foot on the ball, make a few passes. Need
to get settled down, and maybe missing some of the experience that João Moutinho provides. The Portuguese midfielder is on the bench today. Nuno Espirito Santo forced to reshape his team and make 5 changes. It's already been a very busy start to the season. 6 wins out of 6 in the qualifiers for the Europa League for Wolves, but it means they've already had to stretch resources early in the campaign. They played that Premier League trophy in Asia, which they won. They beat Newcastle, they beat Manchester City in pre-season, so it's already been a busy couple of months. There's a throw in from Bennett on the right hand side, pinball inside the penalty area. Yerry Mina gets it away for Everton. Iwobi with a calming ball back to Luca Digne, and his clearance up to the halfway line, and Moise Keane, who takes it on his upper thigh, can't control it though with his second touch, and Wolves regain possession. Vinagre, the left wing back, gives it into Ruben Neves, who scored home and away against Everton last season. And then Cody goes long down the right hand side. Adama Traore, wow, the pace he had there. Luca Digne was about 10 yards ahead of him, and Adama Traore gets around him and now into the penalty area, and he pulls it back. Must be an equaliser, and it is. Roman Saiz makes it 1-1. We've had 2 goals in 8 minutes at Goodison Park. Adama Traore created something out of virtually nothing there, down to his raw, pure speed.
Wow. What a start to this game we've had, and you're right, it was just a pump ball over the top from I think it was Connor Cody, over the top of Luca Digne, who thought he had all the time in the world, but Adama Traore just showed ridiculous amount of pace, got down the side of Luca Digne, and then, not content with just getting the ball, decided to outmuscle the Everton left back, shrugged him off, used all of his strength and pace to get round the side of him, got to the byline and just fired it across the face of that penalty area, and an outstretched leg from one of those Everton defenders just stopped it dead on the 6-yard box.
Well, we've got the North London derby coming up later on this afternoon on 5 Live, but what a warm-up this is. 2 goals in the first 8 minutes. Everton 1, Wolves 1, and Roman Sai's first goal of the season for the Moroccan. An equaliser for Wolves, which will steady them down after a shaky start. But the pace of Adama Traore, I remember last season, I can't remember who it was, someone said to me, said he's not a footballer, you know, he's a sprinter. But he had the speed to get there, but then he had the skills to get around the fullback the second time, ran along the byline, nicely weighted cut back. Everton didn't deal with it, and Sai scores. Here comes Everton down the other end. Look at Digne's delivery into the penalty area. He was looking for Richarlison, couldn't get through to him. Comes back to Iwobi. Great first touch of the box. Down he goes. Referee Anthony Taylor hit a great view and immediately stretches both arms outwards and says no penalty. And then the ball goes out of play on the far side, and that will be a throw-in to Wolves. High tempo start. So much has happened already in these opening 10 minutes.
Oh, we've had a great opening 10 minutes, and that was a fantastic tackle by Ryan Bennett. Full stretch in the penalty area, went to ground on Alex Iwobi. Iwobi just looked like he was going to be able to open his right foot up and bend that shot far post, and a great tackle by Bennett, a crucial one inside that penalty area. Keeps the scores at 1-1.
Throw in for Wolves, taken by Adama Traore, straight to Yerry Mina, who returns it into the Wolves half, and then Ryan Bennett puts it out for a throw into Everton, which Alex Iwobi is going to leave for Luca Digne, who'll come up behind him. Luca Digne was named Everton's Player of the Year last season, and that was a fans award. He was drawn level in the Players' Player of the Year of the club. I think Idrissa Gueye and Luca Digne both shared it last season. Here is Coleman on the attack for Everton down the right, sends in a cross which bounced a little bit awkwardly in front of Conor Cody, but a stooping header from him, and he's able to clear it away. If you're joining our coverage late here, a mix-up between Cody and Rui Patricio led to the opening goal for Everton. Here comes Sigurdsson down the right hand side, good cross in, brilliant header, and he's up and running. Moise Keane scores his first goal for Everton, and boy didn't he take it well. What a game we're having here. 11 minutes in, 3 goals already. For the second time in the match, Everton lead, and it's a goal headed in at the back post. Is it Iwobi? Alex Iwobi's header arriving and scoring in beyond Rui Patricio. Everton 2, Wolves 1. Really well taken header.
Well, it was a fantastic goal. I don't know if we'll have a look at that one. Potential offside, but terrific play again. I think VAR have looked and it's okay, but Sigurdsson ends up getting down the right. This Wolves defence over the top of, I think it's been Agri in this left back area. The ball's just helped in there. He finds himself in a lovely position, and he puts a half volley cross right across that 6-yard line. Everton 2 players in the penalty area, Moise Keane and Iwobi, and it was Iwobi at the back post who just manages to rise and guide it into that back of that Wolves goal. And you know, we're only, I think, 11 minutes into this game, and we've already got 3 goals, and I don't think we're finished.
Here comes Cutrone for Wolves down the other end. Left-footed cross from the left wing is too high for Raul Jimenez, and it's put out for a corner. No chances taken by Luca Digne. Yes, Alex Iwobi, who scored in the League Cup in midweek, now gets his first Premier League goal for Everton on what is his first Premier League start for the club. Really good header. And 2-1 Everton lead, adding to the opener from Richarlison. It's a good cross as well from Gylfi Sigurdsson for that second goal. It's been all action at Goodison here on 5 Live Premier League Sunday. So here comes the Wolves corner. Played in from the far side, headed away by Michael Keane. Taken down by Adama Traore for Wolves. Slots it back over the top to Ruben Neves, who'll cross low from the right hand side. Wolves back into the penalty area. Couldn't be hit by Bole. He said, what a save by Pickford. Cutrone hit it on target, and Pickford, the England goalkeeper, diving to his right, puts it out for a corner. This has been a brilliant opening 13 minutes. It's chance after chance at both ends.
And the amount of players that both teams are committing into the opposition penalty area is fantastic for the game. We're getting chances, we're getting saves. That was a terrific save, full stretch near post by Jordan Pickford. And as you said, Wolves have a corner, but that's a terrific start to this game.
Good hit there by Cutrone. First shot he's had in the game. It was awkward sort of stance he had as the corner is well held onto by Pickford. It came in low trajectory. Pickford dominating the edge of his 6-yard box, but Cutrone off balance still got the volley on target. And Pickford made a good save. Brilliant delivery by Pickford to pick out Richarlison almost on the edge of the Wolves box, and Cody comes across to tackle him out for a throw. Very entertaining high-tempo start here. 2-1 Everton lead already.
Oh, terrific play by Jordan Pickford. In the first case, to come out and catch that cross in a load of bodies, came and really rose above everyone. Good hands, held the ball, held it, allowing the players to get forward, and a terrific sidewind and volleyed pass to Richarlison. Put his team on the attack. Great play by Jordan Pickford.
Here comes Coleman for Everton, making his way into the Wolves half. Andre Gomes with the cross, attacking with Sigurdsson. Coleman onto it again, onto his left foot, couldn't get the shot away. It's shuffled out for a corner to Dunker, putting it out for the Everton corner. But every time Everton, and to be fair to the Wolves, either side come in the attack, they're looking dangerous.
That's commitment. 6 players Everton had in the Wolves penalty area there from a long ball forward. Coleman ends up finding himself on the end of a ricochet, only about 8 yards out on the side of the 6-yard box. Just took too many touches, wanted to beat one more player. Was eventually snuffed out the chance.
Seamus Coleman had got 1 goal last season, came against Brighton in November. Here comes the resultant corner. Sigurdsson, high and floating from the right, headed down and headed away just about by Size, who was back there. And then as Delph picks up possession, the whistle has been blown for a foul on Cutrone. Sigurdsson had fouled him. Free kick to Wolves in their left wing back position.
Yeah, he did really well there, Cutrone. Chased onto the loose ball, got the challenge Delph initially, and then when Sigurdsson came in, was strong enough to get his body and win his team a free kick and relieve some pressure.
Here he goes, Cutrone. He's had a good start. What a control that is. Hits it and well off target in the end. But there's enough in that build-up there to suggest that he might prove to be something of a handful this afternoon. Patrick Cutrone shot miles off target, but he's a player who 2 seasons ago burst onto the scene at AC Milan. He got 10 goals in 17 games. Then last season he didn't quite hit those heights. Didn't play much last season. He's now come to Wolves. He's been involved a lot in this opening quarter of an hour.
It's as if both teams have decided they're not going to defend today. They're just allowing each other to get opportunities on goal. Cutrone there found himself about 5 yards outside the Everton penalty area, completely unmarked. The Everton defenders had dropped into the penalty area already, and that was from a long ball, and got a shot away, missed the target. But as I said, both teams very naive defensively so far.
There was as many goals in the first 11 minutes of this match as there's been in the first 3 games that Everton played in the Premier League this season. It's been bright, it's been entertaining, glorious sunshine on Merseyside, and Andre Gomes has committed a foul, but he's been the one who's been hurt. Wolves tried to take the free kick quickly, too quickly for the referee's liking. It's got to come back to be retaken, and Andre Gomes is just tenderly feeling his left foot, but I think he's going to be okay to continue. What a whirlwind start. Richarlison after 5 minutes, Saïs after 9 minutes, Iwobi just after 11 minutes. Just a reminder, by the way, Belgian Grand Prix up and underway. You can listen to commentary on our sister station 5 Live Sports Extra right now. Arsenal and Tottenham coming up at 4:30 from the Emirates. John Murray will be joined by Chris Sutton for that one. And earlier on today, the 12 noon kickoff finished Rangers 0, Celtic 2 in the Scottish Premiership. So 2-1 Everton lead. Bowley in possession on the halfway line for Wolves. Manages to shrug off a challenge on him. That was a strange one. The Everton player has gone down injured. Play continues though. And this is Neves out into space for Bennett. Everton players want the ball put out of play. Richarlison is the player who's down. Referee says it was not a head injury. He doesn't have to put it out, and eventually a foul is committed anyway on the far side, and treatment can come on for Richarlison. It's a foot of it. It looked like Richarlison, if anything, fouled Bowley, but he's the one who ended up getting hurt.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened with Richarlison. As you said, Bowley was very strong, just shrugged off the challenge of Richarlison, who ended up being the one who's gone to ground. I think we see the replay again. I think he's rolled his ankle. He seems to have just got his studs caught in the floor there. Richarlison rolled his ankle. That'll be a sore one. But on the other side of the pitch, where the referee did stop the game, Traore again far too easily beat the left back Luca Dean in that position. Just allowed Luca Dean to get tight with him, and then just used his brute strength just to roll him and just wriggle around him, and Luca Dean ended up giving the free kick away. He's going to have to learn pretty quickly, because he's been done for pace and strength already by Traore at the start of this game.
Richarlison is still down, receiving treatment near the halfway line. Anthony Taylor, who's had 2 issues to deal with 50 yards apart, has now come back to this one. So we've got a little bit of a hold up here at Goodison Park. 18 minutes on the stadium clock, 3 goals already. Everton went 1-0 up, then it was 1-1. Now Everton lead 2-1 again. Wolves have got an attacking free kick once play does get back underway, but Richarlison, who has today scored his first Premier League goal of the season with what was his first shot on target of the campaign, and he's back up on his feet and he's going to hobble to the sideline, but I guess that Richarlison's going to be okay to continue in just a moment. Temporarily, Everton are going to be down to 10 men, and they've got this free kick to defend, so they've brought all those 10 back behind the ball to defend it. Richarlison and Iwobi, the scorers for Everton in this game so far. Everton, who are holding a high defensive line here. The free kick is only about 7 yards outside the penalty area. On the angle, all the defenders are lining up on the edge of the box, so there's a lot of space between them and Pickford. Free kick is played into that space. Gomez is there and manages to head it away. Iwobi beats Traore to the race of the ball. Here is Delph, chance of a counter-attack for Everton. Delph cuts back at himself though, decides to take the safety first option, back to Michael Keane, returns it to Fabian Delph, and now Coleman has it on the halfway line. The entire pitch bathed in sunshine here at Goodison Park. Coleman gets it back again, number 23 on his back, into Fabian Delph, back across to Michael Keane, and Everton will now work it out to the far side and to Yerry Mina, the Colombian, plays a safe ball back again to Michael Keane. It's a game that's been played at such an attacking nature, this almost feels like a lull just because one of the teams is holding on to the ball around the halfway line. Sigurdsson tries to drill it forward and it comes off the defender, says, and that goes out for a throw into Everton right hand side. Leon Osman.
It does. I think we've gone 8 minutes without a goal now, and it's it seems like we're really missing out on some action. What a great start to the game. As you said, Everton just starting to get a little bit of possession of the ball, just not necessarily taking the sting out of the game, but just trying to get a little bit of control in this game and settle the game down now that they're winning.
Richarlison went down, felt he was injured. Anthony Taylor says no, free kick the other way because he was pulling the shirt of Ruben Vinagre. So that will be a free kick to Wolves, left full back position for them. Richarlison, who has now recovered from that knock that he took a few moments ago. So 2-1 Everton lead. Rui Patricio was involved in a mix-up that led to the opening Everton goal. Takes the free kick long into the Everton half. Michael Keane wins the header in the air. Everton fans feel Richarlison was fouled there. Marcus Silva agrees. He's in the air of Mike Dean as the fourth official.
It's just a little soft there. Richarlison, Vinagre just got behind him, went for the header, and Richarlison was quick to go to ground, and I think the referee got that one right.
Here is Raul Jimenez, who battles for the ball against Andre Gomes, and Gomes fouls him, and that's a free kick to Wolves deep inside Everton territory.
It's a silly one, that, from Gomes. It's in a similar position to the one that Godin gave away on Traore about 3 or 4 minutes ago, and Wolves can be pretty dangerous from set pieces. They've got some serious height going into the penalty area. Saiss, Dendoncker, Catrone, Jimenez, Bolly, Bennett, all really tall players, and Everton dealt with the last one pretty well, but they can't keep on giving cheap free kicks away and allowing Wolves to put good quality into the penalty area.
These two teams who finished 7th and 8th in the Premier League last season. Everton with 3 points behind Wolves. Here comes the free kick. Ruben Neves, dangerous delivery. Crotone will get it inside the penalty area, the back stick. Returns it with interest to the back post. That was a really good cross, and the header in the end pops into the arms of Jordan Pickford. And Wolves looking threatening again on the attack, but they trail 2-1.
Well, Pickford got himself in the right position to make the save, but as I was just saying moments before, it ends up being Saiss versus Luca Dean at the back post there, trying to defend that header, and Saiss wins it comfortably. Dean does just enough to make sure he can't get enough power on the header to trouble the Everton goalkeeper. But if you keep giving cheap free kicks away against a tall opposition, they'll eventually punish you.
That goal that Saiss has scored in this first half, the first Premier League goal at Goodison Park that Everton have conceded since February, which is quite remarkable. Here is Richarlison on the right hand side, pushes it in front of Sigurdsson into the penalty area. Across comes Cody. Good defending by Conor Cody, keeps it in play as well at the byline, and Wolves will try to play their way out of trouble. A confident Vinagre tries to play a 1-2 with size, and good tracking back by Richarlison to make the tackle. Warm applause from the Evertonians. Throw into Wolves down below us, and for Vinagre to take. Johnny, who often plays on the left hand side for Wolves, is on the bench today. Throw is taken towards the Mexican Raul Jimenez, who's had a good summer, won the Gold Cup with Mexico, scored 5 times in 6 games of that competition. Everton try to get it forward up to Moise Keane. And it's some last gasp defending from Wolves that get it away. They look to turn defence into attack with a ball over the top, which Jimenez will scamper after and keep him play on the left wing. Now here he comes, edging towards the penalty area, takes on Coleman, goes through Coleman, shoots low, but it didn't have the power to trouble Jordan Pickford.
It didn't, but again, Wolves managing to get a shot on that Everton goal. Seamus Coleman just not doing enough to defend well enough against Jimenez. Jimenez found himself on the byline out here on the side closest to us, ran at Seamus Coleman, got into the penalty area and got a shot away without any real pressure from the Everton fullback. But again, it's great for us as viewers, another effort on goal that we're seeing at the moment.
Wolves have possession midway inside their own half. Willy Bowley up to the halfway line to Roman Size, and here is Vinagre on the left hand side, and he manages to get away from Richarlison. Now he takes on Coleman in a sprint, beats him as well. Here comes the cross into the middle. Crotone was in there, sits up in front of the Italian, and the shot is deflected out for a corner. That's at least the third time in the game that Crotone has been within a whisker of a Wolves goal. It will be a corner to the visitors.
Again, it's Vinagre, just does Seamus Coleman for pace out here on this left hand side for Wolves. And barring Michael Keane, it's terrific play. I'm just seeing it back now. I wasn't sure how the shot was deflected first off, but cross comes into the penalty area, ricochet, Catroni hits it with such power, and Michael Keane's just trying to recover, get himself in between the ball and the goal, gets in the way, comes off his shins, deflects wide. The keeper would have been nowhere near it. Catrone finds himself very unfortunate yet again.
So corner to Wolves. Ruben Neves is standing over it, raises his right hand as a signal. Most of the Wolves players are crowded at the back post here. It comes in low, headed away by Richarlison at the front post. Vinagre will nod it back into his own half. Cody pops one over the top down the right wing. His intended target there was Raul Jimenez, but it's too close to Pickford, who comes to the edge of the penalty area and gathers the ball. 25 minutes played, Everton 2, Wolves 1, all 3 goals in the first 11 minutes here. And another delay here as Luca Digne needs some medical attention. Not sure exactly what he's done there, but the physios come on to attend to it.
I think he's got a bit of blood on his face, and the referee's told him to go over and get it wiped off, rubbed down. Seen to, certainly he's getting a bit of treatment from the Everton physio at the moment, but it just gives us a little breather. It really doesn't. It's been such a frenetic start to this game. Both teams going toe to toe, as I said right from the beginning. Both showed great intent inside that first 2 or 3 minutes, committing men forward into the penalty area of the opposition, and we've seen the goals because of it.
Right, well, we've got the break in play, Leon. Let's talk about the new boys, if you like. Fabian Delph, what have you made of him in this opening 25 minutes for Everton?
Well, I think we expected him to dominate defensively for Everton, but at the moment he's at the start of most of the passes forward. He's getting passes, great passes into Sigurdsson and Iwobi in particular, who are then able to try and release Keane and Richarlison in turn, and he's had a pretty good start to this game.
Alex Iwobi, who has scored his first Premier League goal for Everton, 2 goals in 2 games now if you include midweek against Lincoln. And Moise Keane has been full of busy running up front, but he's yet to be given a clean-cut opportunity. Free kick to Everton for a foul on Richarlison, and ironic cheers and jeers from the Everton fans who felt they might have had a couple of those already that have been given the other way, and now they sarcastically applaud the referee as he does give one in Everton's favour. 1-2 between Seamus Coleman and Gylfi Sigurdsson. Coleman gets to the byline first, sends in a dangerous cross, just too high for Moise Keane. Comes back out to Sigurdsson. Here comes the dangerous cross again. Moise Keane slides in, and Conor Cody puts it out for a corner. Everton looks so dangerous in attack today.
Well, both teams are just prepared to put the ball into the penalty area. It's as if their game plan is to make sure people are in there. Both Seamus Coleman and Sigurdsson, no other thought in their mind. The ball came out, touch out of their feet and whipping the ball. Both were very dangerous crosses and well dealt with by the Wolves defence.
Gylfi Sigurdsson is standing over the corner. Here it comes, short run up, right-footed, high and floating. Yerry Mina got the header and it bounced down into the ground and up into the arms of Rui Patricio. So Yerry Mina, the Colombian defender, scored, didn't he, at the World Cup last summer, coming forward for set pieces like that for Colombia. But although he leaped very high, it's almost like he put too much downward motion on the header. That took the sting out of it.
Yeah, well, he seemed like he was the only one who really jumped. He was so much higher than everybody else around him, and I think you're right. I don't know if he headed it down too much. He just didn't really seem to get the conviction in his header that he needed to score. But, again, another effort on goal. Defensively, 6s and 7s for both sides in this game, and attacks on top.
Yeremina, who has scored 1 goal so far in English football, came against Burnley last season on Boxing Day. Didn't score during his time at Barcelona, but has got a few goals in international football with Colombia.
I think for his size, you'd expect him to score more goals. He leaps really well. Scored for Colombia, scored, as you said, early for Everton. Should certainly get more goals, and if he jumps higher than everybody like that, you know, expect him to get an end product.
Yeah, he was head and shoulders above everyone there. Here is Iwobi down the other end. This is Delph onto Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson steadies himself. The cross took a deflection. Moise Keane tried to. It would have gone in off his stomach there if it did go in, but Rui Patricio got down to make the save. Everton again getting the ball into those dangerous areas that Leon has been referencing. Everton 2, Wolves 1, 5 Live Premier League Sunday, and we've got a quarter of an hour to go until half time. Really enjoyed this game though. This is the opposite of a cagey game. This is just open and free flowing. It's great.
Well, quite often as well though in Premier League football these days, every team wants to walk the ball into the back of the goal. They're looking for the cute passes to find particular opportunities, and you know, that's not the case today. That both teams had one thought in their mind: get the ball into the penalty area. Sigurdsson just drifted onto the right hand side again, second time in 2 minutes, touch and cross, and it's causing both teams problems.
So throw in to Wolves after Raul Jimenez did some good work down that side. Ryan Bennett, who's got the long throw in his armour, comes to take it. Again, he goes right up against the advertising boards, and you feel Ryan Bennett ideally wants a few more paces of a run up here. He's going to get about 2.5 steps. That's about all he's got. Here he comes. 1, 2. There's the half. Spins it. Still gets good height. Good distance as well. Andre Gomez can't deal with it. Richarlison gives it a proper good old-fashioned up and under. And that clears it out for a throw into Wolves. They remain on the attack down the left-hand side.
Yeah, eventually dealt with it. Well, Gomez winning the header on the first occasion again. Richarlison with a pretty poor clearance. Yes, he did well to get there, but all he's done is give another opportunity for Bennett to put a throw in from the other side of the pitch.
Here he goes. How long a run-up can he get here? Ryan Bennett. Ball above his head. Arches it. Throws. Headed down by Michael Keane inside the penalty area. The header actually comes back out to Bennett. Sends in across with his right boot. Willie Bully is up there. Pickford has come out of his goal area, but he's just shepherding it out for what will be a corner. Corner to Wolves on the left-hand side.
Ross Sykes isn't happy. He wants more. As the cross came in, it was a great cross. As the throw-in came back to Bennett, he just helped it back into the penalty area. Sykes looks like he's onside. He's not happy. He feels Luca Dane came right over his shoulders and all over his back. He wants a penalty. Does Sykes? I don't think it is. I think it's just about on the okay side there from Luca Dane. As you say, another corner.
Corner to Wolves, taken short by Ruben Neves. That didn't work out. He gave it short to Vinagre, who has given it away immediately. Wolves will regain possession, but back deep inside their own half. That applause to the background is Everton fans feeling their team has dealt very well with that and turned what would have been a dangerous corner into just normal possession back inside the Wolves half, where Willie Bully gets a touch out onto Roman Saiz, who's challenged by Iwobi and very nearly pickpocketed. But yeah, that Everton pressure just unsettled Wolves, and one bad pass led to another, and eventually Wolves running out of play, and a throw in right down in front of Marco Silva, down in front of us. 2 Portuguese coaches, of course, today, Marco Silva and Nuno Espirito Santo. This is the 7th time these coaches have ever met. They met in Portugal when Marco Silva was Estoril manager. Nuno Espirito Santo was at Rio Ave. Here is Iwobi midway inside the Wolves half, gives it back to Delph, who's got room in the middle of the midfield here. To his right hand side is Andre Gomez, another with a Barcelona connection. Now Richarlison's cross, dangerous once more. Ryan Bennett with a good defensive header to get it away, but Wolves haven't fully cleared their lines. Delph battles for it, can't get it under his control. Michael Keane being dragged to a right full-back position. Lovely, delicate first touch, keeps it in play. Coleman onto Moise Keane, back to Coleman again, crossing position down the right-hand side. Vinagre's done well, gets in close to Coleman, forces a heavy touch, and Wolves will regain possession. 2-1 Everton lead. Here comes Dendoncker up over the halfway line. Iwobi sprinting, a terrible pass by Dendoncker. He's given it to Richarlison. Been a few wayward passes in midfield from Wolves in this first half. Unforced errors, if you like. Delph to the right-hand side to Gylfi Sigurdsson. This is all midway between the halfway line and the edge of the Wolves penalty area. Sigurdsson has it again. Tries to slip it through to Richarlison, intercepted by Vinagre. And then Raul Jimenez with a calming touch back to Saiz, who has scored the Wolves goal today. Wolves are going to try and come down the right hand side, where of course Doherty is almost like a regular in the team, but today Adama Traore has been chosen to start ahead of him, and he was heavily involved in the build-up to the Wolves goal. Wolves go long, Cratone's onto this almost. He nearly got there, Pickford right to the edge of the penalty area, but Mina for a moment was in no man's land.
Oh, he looks lively, does Catrone. It was a great bit of movement, just came short and then ran in behind Yerry Mina. Mina went for the first initial dummy and nearly got done by that one pass in behind, but Jordan Pickford was alert on the edge of his penalty area to take that one in. But as we've said a couple of times in this game, Catrone looks like he'll be a real good player.
Here is Sigurdsson, good touch to Digne on the edge of the Wolves penalty area. Connor Cody tries to dribble his way out of trouble there, and that wasn't the smart thing to do because Gomez has got it off him. Cross on the left hand side for Iwobi, needed more height. Wolves get it away. Everton will have possession in the midfield. Yerry Mina to look at Digne on the left hand side. He's got a bit of room here to look up, plays it short to Iwobi, hugging the choke of the touchline on the left hand side. Neat triangular passing from Everton as they get it back in towards the middle. We've got 10 minutes to go until the break here, and Yerry Mina turns and rolls it all the way back to Jordan Pickford. I was reading, by the way, over the summer, Yerry Mina, his mother, the reason they called him Yerry was that in South America, if you watch the cartoon Tom and Jerry, in South America and in Spanish-speaking countries, it's Tom and Yerry, and he's been named after Yerry. That is a true story. Here's Richardson's header down. Coleman under pressure from size, nearly lost it, but Delph was there to help his mate out. And now it's Everton who've been pressured by Wolves, but Andre Gomes rides a tackle well and plays it accurately over the halfway line to Sigurdsson. Challenge lunges in from Willy Bully, but he won't get possession. Gomes on the halfway line for Everton, looks up, space for Digne, tries an ambitious ball which Adama Traore lunges in and wins back for Wolves with a header. Ruben Neves plays it forward, that's straight to Tom and Yerry here. He's got it inside the centre circle. To the right hand side, Seamus Coleman. Now right up against the touchline is Richarlison. Everton are holding onto the ball here, and Wolves are trying a high press. They're trying to get right in the faces of Everton players, but Everton's first touch is crisp and clean, and then down goes Bowley. Moise Keane kicks him on the ground, free kick to Wolves.
Yeah, just a bit of a couple of sloppy passes in the end. Moise Keane is running the channels. He's not quite had the joy I think he was expecting, but he's working hard. Things have just bounced off him a little touch at the moment, giving away a good few fouls as well on Bolly in particular, who's actually saying to the referee at the moment that that's not the first foul on him by Moise Keane.
Everton 2, Wolves 1. If you're just joining us, all three goals came in the first electric 11 minutes. Rui Patricio's long clearance is flicked on by Size, and then Michael Keane puts it out for a throw into Wolves, and playing ball boy is Nuno Espirito Santo with the hoodie top on down there. Casual look for one Portuguese coach, whereas Marco Silva's got the smart navy suit. Richarlison, who's got his first Premier League goal of the season already today, tries to play it forward, comes off Vinagre. That'll be an Everton throw just down below us. Don't forget, coming up at 4:30, Arsenal against Tottenham. Full commentary here on 5 Live. 6:06 is with Sam Quek and Robbie Savage after that live game later on. Vinagre on the halfway line for Wolves. Good ball. Cratone's after it. Managing to get in around the back of the Everton defence a lot here. And Delph, realising that Michael Keane had pushed up a little bit there, slotted in, using all his experience there, Delph, and cuts out Catrone, and Everton fans enjoyed that.
Oh, that's what he's there for. Michael Keane just found himself a bit high up the pitch, and Yerry Mina had dropped and played Catrone on side, but Delph spotted the danger, got back in, made the crucial tackle, and the Evertonians absolutely loved it.
Yeah, no settling in period for Fabian Delph. He looks like he's part of the furniture at Goodison already. Digne cuts in off the left wing, good ball, slack marking inside the penalty area. Sigurdsson, his first touch wasn't as sharp as he would have wanted to be, otherwise he could have had a shot. That extra nanosecond allowed Wolves to close him down. Now Richarlison, heavy tackle by Vinagre, is going to go in the book. Yellow card for the Portuguese defender, and that was late and it was robust, and a free kick to Everton.
Well, considering the high intensity of this game, the tackles that have been flying in, I'm surprised it took this long before the first yellow card of the game. I think it is certainly a yellow card. He just came charging in at the feet of Richarlison, who was quite clever, just flicked it round the corner into the feet of his striker and allowed the contact to be made, and Everton have a free kick in a dangerous area again.
Yeah, Everton haven't had many attacking free kicks in the game actually. Sigurdsson standing over this, Iwobi's a target in the middle. Yerry Mina's gone up. Michael Keane is up there. This is right of centre as Everton come forward. Played in by Sigurdsson, didn't have the height he would have wanted. Wolves get it away, but only as far as Delph. First poor touch of the day though by Delph, gives it straight to Ruben Neves. So Wolves have possession back, midway inside their own half. Neat and tidy from Neves. Raul Jimenez must be offside as it's played through him. Flag goes up on the far side, and I think those are the sarcastic cheers from the Everton fans in support of the flag being raised there, because they think Crottone's been offside a few times today. That time Raul Jimenez certainly was.
Yeah, I think it was a really good line by Everton. Just about 3 or 4 yards into their half, it was clear to see him, and has just set off a touch too early before his teammate had the opportunity to get the ball out of his feet, and Jimenez just got his head down, decided, I'm going, come on, play me in please, and just found himself a yard or two offside when the ball was kicked.
Everton 2, Wolves 1, 5 Live Premier League Sunday. Richarlison, right wing for Everton, gives it infield to Andre Gomez. Back out to the right hand side is Sigurdsson, and Vinagre's done well to close him down and keep the ball in play. Sigurdsson thought it got out, and then a terrible clearance by Vinagre. He did everything right to keep it in play, but then he nearly landed his teammates in it by hooking it across the edge of his own penalty area. Fortunately for Wolves, Size was able to get it away, and in the end it goes out for a throw into Everton near the halfway line. The clock ticks on. 5 minutes of normal time to go until the break. Leon.
It's been very competitive out there. There's not really been many stretches of possession. Both teams are going to try and score goals when they get the ball. They're not keeping possession for the sake of it. Both teams are working hard to win the ball back. It's been a throwback to Premier League games of old that we've seen today, and very entertaining.
Yeah, Wolves have looked bright in attack, particularly Patrick Crotone. So far not missing João Moutinho in the midfield, which I thought they might do a little bit more, but Size has stepped up to the mark today in that regard. I think Wolves will feel, if it wasn't for that bizarre Connor Cody back pass to Rui Patricio, I mean, that was a goal out of absolutely nothing. If it wasn't for that, they'd probably feel 1-1 and we're doing really well here.
Yeah, well, as I said, the attacking sides are on top, and Wolves, yes, Everton, I think have probably had more chances in the games. Wolves have certainly had good ones, and Cutrone in particular found himself very unfortunate not to be on the score sheet. So, as I said, it's been an entertaining game. I think both managers will be wanting to get their teams in at half time to shore them up defensively and give a few pointers on how to stop the opposition getting so many opportunities. But I think they'll both be pleased with how the first half's gone.
Long clearance from Pickford, headed back by Connor Cody. Delph battles for it inside the centre circle, helped out by Andre Gomez. Wolves fans thought the Portuguese player had handled it there. Play on, says Anthony Taylor, who was right on top of it. Crotone under pressure from Keane, very good defending, and Everton get it back again, and it's rolled once more to Jordan Pickford. He'll be on international duty with England. Reminder, England against Bulgaria, qualifier on Saturday. We'll have commentary from Wembley here on 5 Live. Just to point you, a week tomorrow, Monday week, Northern Ireland against Germany. We'll have commentary of that big qualifier on 5 Live, and England in action again on Tuesday of that week. England will be playing at St Mary's against Kosovo. So this is the last of the Premier League action today for a fortnight, but we'll be all over the internationals next weekend. Throw in for Everton, taken by Seamus Coleman. Moise Keane looked to be held onto by Willy Bowley there, but play on, says the referee. Coleman tries to get it back again. Ball's got out, throw it to Wolves, and that frustrates Everton a little bit. Bowley's done well against Moise Keane so far, the athletic teenager who looks like he's all about to explode. He's ready to go, but he's been kept under very firm wraps by Bowley so far in this game.
Well, that's the channel he's preferred to run in so far, Moise Keane. We've not seen an awful lot of him. This is, as we said, his first Premier League start, and Wolves having a back three, it's Bolly he's found himself up against more often than not, and probably needs to mix it up a little bit, get himself in the middle, run on and to and in behind Bolly, because at the moment he's basically backing up 1v1 against him.
Right, Ryan Bennett is winding himself up for another long throw attempt here. Midway inside the Everton half, they're all waiting for it deep in the penalty area. Thrown in, Michael Keane got up and didn't get a clean connection on it. Sigurdsson heads away on the edge of the D, and it's going to come down for Adama Traore here, right hand side of the centre of midfield. That's a terrible pass from Traore. No chance of Jimenez getting onto that, and it's a throw into Everton. And then as Jimenez came back, he sort of impeded, he's going to go in the book for this, I think. He impeded Diña's attempts to take the throw, and that is a silly yellow card picked up by Raúl Jimenez.
It is, but it was his teammate's fault in my opinion. Traoré made a terrible pass to Jimenez. It went out of the park, and Iwobi was smart. He was quick to it. He ran off Traoré. He ran into the space that Traoré should have been. Traoré was still asleep, and Jimenez spotted the danger and just stopped Lucas Digne from taking the throw in. Saved his team being on the end of another counter-attack.
Clearance for Everton by Michael Keane out towards Iwobi on the far side, beaten in the air by Ryan Bennett. Delph gets it down on the deck again in the middle. Bit of room here for Richarlison. He's got an overlapping run from Seamus Coleman outside him. And 3 blue shirts waiting patiently in the middle, but no crossing position for Richarlison. He's got to turn and give it back to the halfway line to Michael Keane. And Everton will try and build down the left now with Lucas Digne, who's got Iwobi ahead of him. Here is the new signing from Arsenal. Bright yellow boots today. Plays it in towards Sigurdsson on the edge of the penalty area. Sigurdsson was slightly off balance as he received that, and Wolves were able to clear it away. But Critone's been fouled by Michael Keane inside the centre circle, and that is going to be a free kick to Wolves. Keane is not happy with that, and he's gone across to remonstrate with Anthony Taylor, and you can hear the boos in the background. Everton fans aren't happy with it either. What do you make of that, Leon Osman?
Well, Evertonians aren't happy. Marco Silva's certainly not happy. Michael Keane is absolutely apoplectic. However, it did look like a foul from here. It looked like he got far too close to Cutrone on the halfway line, a foul he didn't need to make. He had 2 or 3 Everton players around him, got far too tight, allowed himself to get involved in a wrestling match, and the referee decided it went against him.
Fourth official just about to hold up the board to tell us what's going to be added on for stoppages. Here it comes from Mike Dean. 2 minutes to be added on at the end of a very entertaining first half that has provided us with 3 goals. Here's Adama Traoré down the right hand side. Dangerous cross, but a little bit too close to Jordan Pickford, who holds onto it well under pressure.
Well, I'm really surprised, considering how the first 11 minutes of this game went, and what I've just seen then, that Wolves aren't getting the ball out to Adama Traoré every time they get it, because he's beating Lucas Digne as if he's not even there. He's just done him again for pace and power, gets round outside of him, gets in the penalty area and puts the ball into across that 6-yard line. And I think that should be the message from Espirito Santos at half time, to get the ball out to Traoré, because there's a lot of danger when he runs at Lucas Digne.
Richarlison and Iwobi with the goals for Everton. Romain Saiz, who only got 2 goals in all of last season, he has scored the goal for Wolves. Very good work from Adama Traoré in the build up to that one. 2-1 Everton lead. Free kick in the dying embers of the first half now. This time Crotone adjudged to have fouled Michael Keane. Proper ding-dong battle between those two. There's a bit of needle, by the way. Crotone, who could have easily kicked the ball to Keane there, just stood with it at his feet, said, you want the ball, you got to come and get it. They're almost rising each other, those two. Yerry Mina plays it back to Pickford.
Yeah, it's great to see that in the game. I love it when the competitiveness isn't just the whole team, that there's a little bit of personal needle just from the way they played against each other today, and they both had a go. They both played particularly well as well, to be honest, and Cutrone definitely gave a free kick away on that occasion on Michael Keane, and the referee got it spot on again.
I don't know if you listened to Sutton Death last night on 606 with Ali Bruce Ball and Chris Sutton. There was a bit of needle in that one. There was a bit of Crotone Michael Keane there, I'll tell you, as Yerry Mina jumps in the air. Bolly beats him though and flicks it on. Crotone thought he could get there, but his nemesis Michael Keane puts it out for a corner. There's going to be time to take this. A late corner for Wolves. Can they make it 2-2 before the break?
Well, again, a simple ball up, and most of the Wolves players are towering over the Everton ones. Keep it away from Michael Keane and Yerry Mina, and Wolves should dominate in the air.
Ruben Neves to take the corner. Right-footed from the right-hand side. Headed away, though, by Lucas Digne. That will be that. So, Richarlison and Iwobi's goals. Mistake of the back by Connor Cody with a mix-up with Rui Patricio. But Roman says, responding, Crotone has been a real handful up front, and I'm looking forward to these second 45 minutes.
Yeah, terrifically entertaining first half. Both sets of attacks on top. Defences all at sea at times, and I think both sets of managers will be pleased to get their teams in, to be able to shore them up defensively and hopefully not take too much away from them going forward. Everton keep getting crosses into the penalty area. It's been successful so far, and apart from getting Cutrone on the ball, particularly for Wolves, get Traoré on the ball. He's beat Lucas Digne time after time out on that right hand side, and that's where Wolves have had a lot of joy.
For now, Emma, Everton 2, Wolves 1.
start, wasn't it, to that game? It slightly calmed down towards the end of that half. But overall, great tempo to this one. I'm sure it's a brilliant watch from the commentary box.
Yeah, it's been all action. Not much time to actually have a chat with Connor so far. We usually like to have a chat about this and that. So it's the amount of action has been great. We hope it continues in the second half. What tends to happen is managers get their teams in and stop the opposition from attacking the same way in the second half, and things can shore up. We hope that's not the case, but time will tell.
I think it's the first time there have been 3 goals inside the first 12 minutes of a Premier League game since Leicester against Everton. That was in April 2017. That one ended 4-2 to Everton. Leon, more goals still to come in this one?
Well, judging by the first half, you'd probably say yes. And, I think that Everton they've got a game plan of getting the ball into the penalty area, getting players into the penalty area, and they've created chance after chance. And on the opposing side, Wolves have counter-attacked very well. Catrone in particular has been really lively. And again, if I was the Wolves manager at half-time, I'd be asking my team why they've not been getting the ball out to Traore. His pace and power has been absolutely frightening on that right-hand side. And yes, maybe he doesn't offer what you'd expect defensively as a right wing back, but going forward, that's what he's in the team for. He's in the team to create opportunities, and he's beaten Luca Dean for pace and power, and they need to get in the ball more.
Thank you, Leon. Go and grab Connor. You can have that chat that you didn't manage to have during the game, as I imagine the second half could well be pretty similar. Go and grab yourselves a cup of tea. Chance to get your breath back ahead of a second 45, especially if it starts like the first. You are listening to 5 Live Premier League Sunday with me, Emma Saunders. It is half-time in the game at Goodison Park. Everton lead Wolves in that one by 2-1. We've got commentary of the North London derby on the way from the Emirates. We'll be back with our commentary team at Goodison. That's Leon Osman and Conor McNamara in a short while, but it's time now for the news on 5 Live with Joe Hornby.
On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thousands of passengers coming in and out of the UK are being affected by a computer failure at French air traffic control. It's causing delays and cancellations for flights travelling through France and Spanish airspace. The Shadow Brexit Secretary, Sir Keir Starmer, says legislation to try to prevent the UK leaving the EU without a deal will be put forward this week. The Cabinet Minister, Michael Gove, has refused to guarantee the government would abide by a new law if passed. Hurricane Dorian has been upgraded to a Category 5 storm. It's due to hit the Bahamas today and then the east coast of the United States, with winds of up to 160 miles per hour and very heavy rainfall. And schools in England rated as outstanding will no longer be exempt from inspections by Ofsted. It's part of government plans to improve standards and give parents up-to-date information.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live. On digital, BBC Sounds, smart speaker and online.
In the travel in Berkshire, the M25 clockwise, very slow traffic around junction 15, congestion back to 13, no more details on that one as yet. And in Somerset, the M5 southbound, there's a lane closed on the exit slip road and very slow traffic. That's due to a 3-car accident at junction 21 for Weston-super-Mare.
The best live sport.
After Ben Stokes' heroics at Headingley, the Ashes are still very much alive going into the 4th test.
And in comes Pat Cummins from the far end. He bowls to Stokes, who hammers it for 4 and stands there with the bat raised. I can't believe we've seen that.
The Ashes. The 4th test starts Wednesday, live from Old Trafford.
Hear every ball, every boundary and every wicket with 5 Live and 5 Live Sports Extra.
And keep up to date with the TMS podcast. Download and subscribe using the BBC Sounds app.
More live Premier League football than anyone else.
5 Live's Premier League Sunday.
Welcome back to 5 Live Premier League Sunday. It's half-time in the game at Goodison Park. Everton 2, Wolves 1. We've got commentary of the North London derby on the way. That one kicks off at 4:30 and we'll be talking more about that game shortly with our team there. But first, there's 2 fixtures in the Betfred Super League today. They both kick off at 3 o'clock. The relegation battle is firmly in view today with London Broncos playing Leeds and Wakefield against Wigan. Dave Woods.
Yeah, well, it's an incredible situation at the bottom of the table. After today, we've got 2 matches left to play, 2 regular seasons games to go. We could have the bottom 5 all on 20 points, and one of them's going to get relegated. Leeds, Wakefield, Huddersfield, Hull KR London all involved. I'm at Wakefield here today. Wakefield against Wigan. Wigan win, they go second. If Wakefield win and London lose, and that looks as though it's going to make Wakefield safe. And then Leeds against London is the other game today. If Leeds win in the capital and London lose, obviously, then Leeds will be safe. But we've had so many unpredictable results. If London win today, the cat very much in amongst the pigeons. So we'll be keeping our eyes on both these matches.
Thank you, Dave. Also, elsewhere today, Johanna Konta is set to play Karolina Pliskova at the US Open. Commentary online of that one from around 5:30 at Flushing Meadows. On Sports Extra right now, we have the Belgian F1 Grand Prix. So let's go live to Jack Nicholls.
Good afternoon, Emma. Yes, we are on lap 21 of 44, so pretty much at the half race distance, and it's a very interesting Grand Prix. Max Verstappen was eliminated on the first lap after a crash with Kimi Raikkonen, but since then Charles Leclerc was leading for Ferrari, Sebastian Vettel was second under big pressure from Lewis Hamilton, and mode box, and Leclerc is going to come into the pits on this lap. Jolyon Palmer, it's an interesting situation because Vettel was defending from Hamilton, made a pit stop, and now looks like he's going to come out in the lead.
It's a bit of a bizarre one. Ferrari have split the strategies. Vettel was on the back foot in second place, defending from Hamilton, as you said. Pitted early. He had to pit early because otherwise Hamilton might have jumped him. Then Leclerc and Hamilton have both waited, and they're going to emerge behind Sebastian Vettel because he's been on the fresher tyres for longer. Leclerc's about to come in and see his teammate ahead of him and probably be fairly furious, I'd have thought.
Yeah, that's not going to be an ideal situation. Ferrari running out into the pit lane now. Lewis Hamilton in second. He's 4 seconds away from Charles Leclerc. Valtteri Bottas is another 4 seconds further back. But the home hero, Max Verstappen, as I say, out of the Grand Prix. Leclerc comes into the pit lane now, and Jenny Gow is down there.
Yes, 22 men surround the car. They lift it up. They change him from a soft tyre to a medium tyre. He should be able to complete the rest of the race. A nice stop by the Ferrari team. Leclerc, where will he come out, though?
Yeah, well, he's going to come out behind Sebastian Vettel, who's coming through the right-hander hairpin of La Source now, and Vettel takes the net lead of the Grand Prix. The Mercedes haven't pitted yet, but Leclerc will have just seen Vettel flash past him on the outside, and he'll be thinking, sorry, what?
How has that happened exactly? The question is, will Ferrari allow Leclerc past easily on Sebastian Vettel? A bit of a team orders situation could occur here because they were on different strategies, and Leclerc looked like he had the race under control until Ferrari just kept him out. Vettel pitted earlier, went quicker, and now he's emerged ahead. They're still in third place because Hamilton and Bottas stayed out as well, but Vettel ahead of Leclerc.
So a lot still to unfold here in Spa-Francorchamps, and as you say, Emma, full coverage is on 5 Live Sports Extra. Hamilton leading, but he's yet to make a pit stop.
This will be
Thank you to Jack and the team in Belgium. As Jack did mention there, you can listen to the Belgian Grand Prix on Sports Extra. But here on 5 Live, we'll be back to Goodison Park soon for the second half of Everton against Wolves. The host currently leading that one by 2-1. All of those goals came inside the first 12 minutes. It really was a breathless start. Following that game, we do have the North London Derby. It's going to be live on Premier League Sunday on 5 Live Sport at 4:30. And our football correspondent John Murray is at the Emirates for us. Good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon.
Hello. I mean, North London Derby, there's always a lot riding on these games, but it just feels like there's a little bit extra.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot going on in the background with both these sides, isn't there?
There is, and I think that is based on the way that they've started the season. And OK, Arsenal started off with the 2 wins, but then, that was deeply disappointing for their supporters, the way that they lost at Liverpool last weekend. Even though it's away from home, even though it's against Liverpool in the form that they're in. And then for Tottenham as well, to win the opening match, but then to be very much second best in the draw with Manchester City, and then to lose at home to Newcastle. So, yeah, lots of questions, lots to prove, and the old question about who's it's most important for this match, I think that's a really difficult one. I think it's equally important for them both.
Well, it's going to be fascinating when we do get the team news for this one. Earlier in the studio, I had Karen Carney and David Bentley with me, and also Leon joined the conversation from Goodison. All three of them agreed that they do think Arsenal are going to go for it in this. You're expecting to see those three up top for Arsenal. You touched there on the game against Liverpool. What are you expecting tactically here from Emery?
I think as well. Also, is Mesut Ozil going to be involved for the first time this season? Maybe as a substitute, but I think you're absolutely right. Are we going to see Lacazette, Aubameyang, Ceballos, Pepe? Are they all going to start the match? Possibly. And it's interesting to see what Unai Emery's written in the programme today, because the discussion about the tactics that he employed at Anfield last weekend when he played with a diamond. He says the consequence of the result was not the diamond, but really we are ready to play with different tactical decisions. He says last year we worked and used different formations with good performances because the players there have worked on those systems. So, that is how he's explaining that away, that he wants his Arsenal team to be adaptable. So we'll see what he comes up with today for this one.
Well, on that, let's bring in Julien Laurence from our EuroLeagues podcast, who I think is there with you. Good afternoon, Julien.
Hello.
That's really interesting, I think, that Emery's almost felt the need to explain himself after that diamond which was employed. It's interesting that he's taken to the programme, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right. It's very interesting. It's one of those where if it works out for him last weekend at Anfield, and people say he's a tactical genius because that was the way to undo this Liverpool defence or the Liverpool midfield. The fact is that it didn't work out at all, and clearly it was not the right decision. The fact that he has to come back onto that shows and explain also why Alexandre Lacazette was not playing and why he's still yet to put them three up front together, Pepe, Lacazette and Aubameyang, is another interesting one. But I think the adaptability is the key word in here, because if you take Nicolas Pepe, for example, adaptability is unknown to him, because last season at Lille and the season before, they always played in the same tactical system, home and away, again, tough games, tough opposition, or easier games if you want. It was always a 4-2-3-1 formation. It was always on the right hand side of the midfield three, and there was nothing else for him to either learn or know or move differently or do anything different. He was always playing with the same right back. Unai Emery wants him to be able to play in a front two with a diamond midfield behind him, or as a winger in a 4-3-3, or with three at the back, and all of these things are new to him and he needs to learn them. And I think today would be the day where we see that front three together. But the reason why Nicolas Pepe hasn't started until that game at Liverpool was because Unai Emery felt that he needed to learn a bit more the different system and different way that this Arsenal team can play in.
But I think, Emma, that's all part of becoming a better player, isn't it? To be able to do that. I mean, we sit and watch Manchester City week in, week out with Pep Guardiola very often asking different things of his players. And I think if you want to get to the very top, you've got to be capable of doing that.
I have to ask the question, almost playing devil's advocate here though, but do you think with what he's saying that he needs these players to be able to adapt to different systems, is that in some ways maybe a little bit of a smokescreen that he actually doesn't know his best team? Do you see what I mean by that?
Yeah, I see what you mean, and I think he certainly thinks that there's a way to play at home, and there's probably even different ways to play at home depending on the opposition, and there's also different ways to play away from home, especially in the big games. Okay, the Liverpool one, they were not good enough on the day over the full 90 minutes. But last season they realized that what would make them good away from home against the big teams was to have that pace going forward, playing transition quickly with a lot of verticality. That's why they bought Ceballos, that's why they bought Pepe. They had in mind very much the idea of last season we couldn't break those teams on the counter attack because we didn't have enough pace up front. And Lacazette is not the quickest. Aubameyang is, but when he's too isolated up front, that doesn't work out for him or for the team either. So there's been a lot of thinking as well about, okay, how can we approach the games away from home, especially against the big clubs, and how do we approach the game at home? And I think we will see a lot of different teams home and away, and also different teams regarding on who the opposition is this season with Emery and Arsenal.
And people keep saying, don't they, that defensively they need to play with 3 central defenders, because David Luiz, the theory goes, that's the system that he's most comfortable with. So that's another option that I suspect we will see at some stage.
Julian, John, thanks ever so much. We'll be back at the Emirates in a little while for more build-up to the North London derby. But for now, on 5 Live Premier League Sunday, it's time to head back to Goodison Park for the second half of Everton against Wolves, which Everton lead by 2-1. Your commentary team, Conor McNamara and Leon Osman.
Thanks very much. Everton just about to get back underway in the sunshine at Goodison Park. Everton 2, Wolves 1. No changes in personnel over the break. I mentioned in our chat before the game how resilient Wolves are since coming up to the Premier League. They have come from behind to win points as much as Liverpool. No team has done it more since the start of last season. Wolves have picked up 16 points having been behind, whether they come back to draw the game or turn it around to win it. So Everton won't be counting any chickens just yet. 2-1 lead, but much can change in this second half. Everton, who were playing from right to left as we look down, will give you a reminder of the teams in full in just a moment. Adama Traore taking a throw in, and both coaches back out for the second half directly down below us here in the main stand at Goodison Park. Adama Traore is tackled by Iwobi. Everton send it forward towards the teenager Moise Keane. He can't control it. Wolves will clear it away. Yerry Mina allows it run through, knowing it's going to go all the way back to Jordan Pickford. Long clearance into the sunshine in the eyes of Ryan Bennett, but he doesn't flinch and heads the ball back towards the halfway line. Here come Everton again, though, nicely helped on by Richarlison to Moise Keane, just outside the penalty area, onto his right boot, drills it firmly, but Vinagre gets his body in the way, and that's deflected out for the first quarter of the second half. Leon Osman.
Started as the first half finished. Both teams trying to get on the ball, very competitive in the middle of the park. Ball eventually comes to Moise Keane there, and he's got no other thought in his mind than wanting to get an effort on goal. He hasn't really been involved in the efforts in the first half, would like to have had a chance himself, and looks like he's desperate to get on the score sheet.
So Gylfi Sigurdsson has gone across to place the ball for the corner. First set piece of the second half. Wolves have brought all 11 players back into their own penalty area to defend it. It's played in high by Sigurdsson towards the height of Yerry Mina. He got up there, but he couldn't get a clean connection on it. And then Ruben Neves swivels and volleys it clear outside the penalty area, where it's challenged for by Delph. Everton get it back again. Moise Keane tries to run into the penalty area. He collides with Bennett. I think just as they both fell to the ground, Bennett's studs raked on the boot of Moise Keane. It wasn't a foul, it was just unfortunate coming together. Keane just adjusts his footwear, and Everton have it back with the other Keane, Michael Keane, back on the halfway line, and under pressure from Jimenez, he's going to turn and roll it to Pickford, who did make some good saves in that first half. Pickford plays it out to Seamus Coleman, and he'll bring Everton up to the halfway line. So Pickford, the goalkeeper for Everton, Coleman, Michael Keane, Yerry Mina and Luca Dean are the back four. Here's Sigurdsson attacking the penalty area, gets into the box. Oh, he almost smuggled it through. There didn't seem to be a pass on. He almost got it through to Moise Keane. Wolves grateful and relieved that they could clear. So Everton have got Delph and Andre Gomes in the middle of the midfield. Then there's an attacking three of Richarlison, Sigurdsson and Iwobi. And then the target man is Moise Keane, the new signing from Juventus. Here come Wolves, their team, in just a moment. Vinagre down the left-hand side. Whole succession of step-overs. Oh, he's still going into the box. It's a really good run. And then he slipped just to the end of it as he tried to unleash a pass. And Everton get it back. And now they will counter-attack. Another clever pass by Sigurdsson to send it in front of Richarlison, who pushes it past Bowley. And Bowley, in no uncertain terms, was making sure that Sigurdsson would not progress there. He didn't even try to play the ball. He knew his team were outnumbered. He takes the yellow card for the team.
Yeah, Wolves found themselves 3-on-3 there. Richarlison skips past Bolly. No intention except to bring him down. Just stop that Everton attack in its tracks. But again, it's both teams. What are we? 3 minutes into this second half. It's become a game of basketball already. Both teams trying to attack each other with everything they've got. And hopefully it stays as entertaining.
Sigurdsson takes the free kick short to Coleman on the right hand side. His cross is met confidently on the chest by Raul Jimenez, and Wolves try to break away. Crotone sends it in front of Raul Jimenez, and Crotone was fouled. The former AC Milan man. Free kick to Wolves 10 yards inside their own half. So the Wolves team, Rui Patricio in goal, three central defenders, Bennett, Cody and Bully. Ruben Neves is the anchor in midfield. There's two in the middle, Dendoncker and Size, who scored the Wolves goal in the first half. The wing-backs on either side, Traore on the right, Vinagre on the left, and then the two front men, Patrick Crotone and Raul Jimenez. And Wolves win a throw-in 10 yards from the corner flag. They are attacking down the right-hand side. Wolves fans who've come and taken their full allocation, 2 tiers up and down on the far side, and they are close to the end of the pitch that Wolves are attacking in this second period. Bennett winds himself up for another of these long throws. He likes to take his time over it. He's like a golfer lining up a putt. Here it comes. Arches his back, gives it in high. Yerry Mina misses it. Michael Keane misses it. Comes back up on the bounce, and Richarlison can't clear it away comfortably either. Crotone will cross it in from the left-hand side, and it's too close to the goalkeeper, and Pickford makes the save.
Oh, they're a real threat from them long throws. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Bennett comes all the way over, really launches it into the opposition's penalty area. And when you've got Bolly up from the back, you've got Jimenez, you've got Seiss, you've got Dendoncker all attacking that first ball. Only takes the slightest of touches, and the likes of Catrone is always lively and trying to get on the end of any bouncing balls, and Everton did really well to see that one away.
Match of the day 2 tonight on BBC One will be worth watching. 3 goals in this game already. Wolves trying to get in around the back of Luca Digne, but the Frenchman holds his ground, helped out by Iwobi here. Those two bring it back over the halfway line. Jimenez surely committed a foul on Luca Digne there. Referee Anthony Taylor, but he sort of gave a wave to that to say, yeah, I see what's happened there, but he doesn't blow the whistle. There was no advantage for Everton either. Maybe he just thought it was a clean tackle. Cody goes long again for Wolves. They're targeting Luca Digne. They're trying to get in around the back of him. They're trying to exploit the pace of Adama Traore, but Digne copes with that well. He had a good season last year, Luca Digne. Got back in the French squad as well. Bowley now inside the centre circle. And Wolves trying to work out how they're going to get back into this game. Low to the feet of Cutrone. He goes down. No whistle from the referee. Richarlison takes it on for Everton. Bowley had to be so careful there. He stood his ground with his hands in the air. He was making very clear to Anthony Taylor he didn't want to pick up a second yellow. Everton weren't able to get around him though.
Still just gone a little bit scrappy at the moment. Both teams are trying to get the ball forward probably a little bit too quickly. They just need to get a little bit better possession, move the ball around a little bit more cleverly.
Sigurdsson 10 yards outside the penalty area, trying to put it in front of Coleman. Coleman was being held back there. That might even have been inside the penalty area. Interesting. Coleman tries to run through, and Seiss had a good grip of his shirt, and Anthony Taylor, I don't think, had any inclination about giving a foul here. The only reason I would think that VAR would get involved, because if it's a foul outside the penalty area, regardless, VAR wouldn't touch it. If it's in the penalty area, VAR could get involved. Any case, Leon?
I think it was just outside the penalty area. Seamus Coleman just got on the blind side of Seiss. He didn't know he was there, and as the pass was to be made, he just caught himself unaware and just grabbed his right arm, just yanked him back. And Seamus Coleman was certainly fouled, but being outside the penalty area and the ball already running out of play, I don't think any decision was ever going to be made.
Cody goes long, picks out Cutrone, who's controlled it well. Help arrives from Raul Jimenez, a couple of fancy step overs. Here he goes into the penalty area. Coleman back to defending on the Everton byline, puts it out for a corner, but that was a better attack from Wolves. We played 7.5 minutes in the second half. Everton lead Wolves 2-1 on 5 Live Premier League Sunday.
Yeah, it was a much better attack from Wolves, real intense, but better from Seamus Coleman. Got done twice, one-on-one in the first half. Certainly didn't get done on that occasion.
Arsenal against Tottenham to come. 4:30 kickoff here. Let's see what Neves can do with this corner. That's a good delivery from the left-hand side. Yerry Mina just about jumped high enough to head it away. There were 2 players in Wolves shirts directly behind him. Had Yerry Mina misjudged that, Wolves would certainly have scored.
It's great quality from Neves though. Ball whipped flat right across the line of the 6-yard box. Goes out for a throw on the other side of the field, but great corner to be attacked.
So now it's going to be a throw in. Still attacking position for Wolves. Bennett gets good distance on it. Bowley can't get the flick on, and there was a push and a shove in there. Somebody fouled Digne. Free kick to Everton, and a chance for them to clear their lines. After the international break, Everton get back underway with an away match at Bournemouth. That's Sunday 15th of September, 2 weeks from now. Then they've got back-to-back home games. Sheffield United come here, and then the champions Manchester City come here. There's Andre Gomes under pressure from Cutrone. Interesting there, Cutrone's did all these shuttle sprints trying to close down the Everton defenders, and in the middle of doing it he turned and he waved his arm at Jimenez and said, come on, do you want to help me out with this? As Digne gives it into Delph, and Everton have worked their way out of trouble, and then Iwobi can't control it, and the ball goes out of play for a Oh, well, I think it's going to... Yeah, it is going to be given as a throw for a moment. I thought the referee was going to give a free kick for a handball, but it's a throw to Wolves. Dama Traore to take. Wolves' next game's after the break, by the way, at Chelsea at home at Molineux. That's 2 weeks from now. They've got a trip to Crystal Palace, and that's followed by Watford at home. That's the next 3 games for Wolves. They'll also be starting their Europa League campaign shortly. They've been involved in that draw that was held on Friday. Wolves in Group K with Besiktas, Braga and Slovan Bratislava. So a few exotic trips for Wolves fans in what is their first European campaign for nearly 40 years. Here comes Moise Keane, turns into trouble, battles though to win it back again, shows a tenacity, but ultimately he's outfoxed. Size does well in the midfield. And then Neves goes long again. They're realising that Cutrone is doing really well with these high balls. He's causing problems for Michael Keane, and increasingly Wolves are going long and high towards the Italian striker. Everton get it back down on the deck. Delph out to the left wing, taken on by Iwobi, attacking the Wolves penalty area, low to the feet of Keane. Lovely turn, but Bowley across to save the day for Wolves. The first touch there was excellent from Moise Keane, and Bowley with a very good piece of defending got it away for Wolves.
First bit of quality play by Everton in the second half, moving the ball from one side of the field to the other. Real tempo in the passing. Iwobi played a great ball into the feet of Moise Keane just in the D of the Wolves penalty area. He did a Cruyff with his first touch, and just as he was about to pull the trigger, Bolly spotted the danger and got over terrifically well and stopped the new Everton striker from getting his shot away.
Wolves, who've had 3 draws from 3 games in the Premier League so far this season. And last season, Wolves didn't win any of their first 3 games either. Their 4th game last season was against West Ham, and they did win that by a 0-0. This is their 4th game of this season. They're 2-1 down at Everton. Andre Gomez 15 yards outside the Wolves penalty area. Central location, gives it out to Richarlison on the right wing. Vinagra's the defender near him. Richarlison tries to cross. Vinagra's done very well, and he hooks the ball away over his own shoulder, and that's up towards the halfway line. Coleman gets it back for Everton. Andre Gomez encourages Coleman to keep that run going, and then Richarlison tried to do another 1-2, which was a clever idea, but he pushed it too far in front of the Republic of Ireland fullback, and that goes out for a Wolves goal kick. But I think it sums up the mood at Goodison Park, Leon, that was ultimately a stray pass from Richarlison, but it got such a warm reception because they realised what he was trying to do and how close he was to actually pulling it off.
Yeah, well, they can see the effort the players are putting in. Firstly, it's very competitive out there, yet I'd say just for the last 3 or 4 minutes, Everton have just got on top at the moment. Seamus Coleman just showing they're winning the ball back very quickly from Wolverhampton Wanderers, starting another attack.
Delph is doing very well, gives it on to Keane, into the penalty area. Bennett takes him down. Anthony Taylor says it's a fair challenge. The referee got good and close to that. He needed to really sprint after it, Anthony Taylor, but when Keane became the ham in the sandwich, if you like, Bennett slid and he got the ball cleanly. Ooh, that was risky. I tell you what, no margin for error, but it's a good tackle.
Yeah, very good tackle by Ryan Bennett. Times it really well, goes to ground inside that penalty area, but as you said, good refereeing as well, really did keep up with play, and at the minute Moise Keane's probably just trying a little bit too hard if anything. There's opportunities to release the ball, get his teammates into play, give them opportunities to score goals. He's so desperate to get on the score sheet himself, he's probably just chewing the ball a bit too much.
Right, Wolves are about to make a change. There's all sort of consternation here. A foul off the ball, a yellow card has been shown to Ryan Bennett. Luca Digne ran on an overlapping run of the wing, and he would have been away down the left hand side. Bennett realised the danger, and with the ball nowhere near him, he's after catching hold of Digne and making sure he couldn't progress, and that is a blatant yellow card. Not for the first time in the game. A Wolves player takes one for the team, takes the card rather than allow Everton to counter attack.
Well, he's a right centre half, and he found himself quite high up in a right back position, and Traore had pushed up as wing back. He found himself exposed, done round the outside, didn't want to be in that position, knew he needed to stop the attack, so clever from Ryan Bennett in the end to stop that Everton attack in its tracks.
Right, here comes the change. Wolves fans will be pleased with this. João Moutinho is coming on, turns 33 this month. Such an important part though of the Wolves midfield. He has taken the place of Roman Saiz. Moutinho straight into the action, beaten to the ball though by Andre Gomez, whose wayward pass goes behind Richarlison, and a few groans from Everton fans as that one goes for a throw. Now Moutinho, who's got that sixth sense, if you like, that ability to pick out passes, to create things for Wolves, can he get them back into this game?
Well, I think it's a good substitution. I think the timing is spot on. Everton had just started to get control of the football out there on the field, and Wolves haven't really had any real possession in the last 5, maybe even 10 minutes or so. So to bring Moutinho on, who will get his foot on the ball, real composure, real bravery, and has the ability to pick a pass to Jimenez and Cutrone when they are in good possession. It's a very clever player.
Still have half an hour of this game to go. We'll be at the Emirates for the 4:30 kickoff. Arsenal against Tottenham, building up to that one as soon as the live football is over here at Goodison. 6:06 on 5 Live tonight with Robbie Savage and Sam Quenk. Earlier on today, Celtic beat Rangers 2-0 in the Old Firm derby. Late red card for Rangers in that one too. Everton have got themselves a free kick here. It's 15-20 yards outside the penalty area, wide in the right hand side, but this is the sort of position that Gylfi Sigurdsson will want to swing it in. And I'm not sure how much mud there is on the Goodison Park pitch these days, especially end of August, start of September, but Sigurdsson is just picking a little bit of that out between his studs, and he's getting ready to deliver this into the middle. Iwobi's at the front post, Yerry Mina's at the back post. Wolves have brought everyone back to defend it. Everton playing from right to left as we look down. They lead 2-1 here with the hour played. Sigurdsson delivery, really good pace in it. Iwobi's header actually was by Moise Keane, is up and wide and over the top, not too far away.
No, it was a first of it was a really good ball by Sigurdsson. The quality that you'd expect, just lands it probably front post, 6 yards out. Moise Keane, of all people, just made a darting run into that space, rose above everyone and just couldn't guide his header to the far post. Needs to be a little bit more delicate with this contact, just got a little bit too much on it and it went over the top of the bar.
Really good cross by Sigurdsson.
Good signs from Keane though. He's found himself involved in a lot more of the action in the second half than he did in the first. Yes, he hasn't managed to get his effort that he wants on target, but much more involved.
Yes, Moise Keane, who scored in his first competitive international start for Italy against Finland. Man who came off the bench a few times for Juventus and scored important goals last season. Seen as something of a coup for Everton to get his signature over the summer. He's done okay leading the line, preferred to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who has been given the number 9 shirt this season, Calvert-Lewin, but he's on the bench today with Moise Keane starting. Here is Iwobi, who is on the score sheet today, his first Everton Premier League goal. Then Dunker in the midfield for Wolves does well, and then he plays it out towards Vinagre's, nearly a very good pass. Coleman intercepted it, sets Everton on their way. Richarlison, long strides over the halfway line. He's got Moise Keane patiently waiting in the middle, but no cross from the Brazilian. Richarlison turns and gives it back to Coleman. Everton hold on to it in the middle. Andre Gomes out to Luca Digne down in front of us, and Everton will come forward down the left. Early ball played in by Digne, intended for Moise Keane, cut out by Ryan Bennett. João Moutinho with a cultured touch in the midfield onto Dendoncker. Wolves 2-1 down away from home, looking for their first win of the season, and Raúl Jiménez is taken down by Fabian Delph. That was not a good tackle, and there wasn't any great danger there, but Delph is going to go in the book.
Delph's getting the yellow card, and rightly so, but it was terrific play by Jimenez. Received the ball, which was a very good ball in turn from Bennett, from back to front. He's received it on the half turn, completely rolled Fabian Delph, took the ball. He's going to be running at the two centre-halves of Everton with Cutrone in support, and Fabian Delph felt he needed to lunge to make that tackle. Gives away the free kick and gets the yellow card.
Free kick to be taken by João Moutinho. This is midway inside the Everton half. Moutinho with the yellow boot plays it in. Richarlison's flicked on header could have caused trouble for his teammates there, and Everton relieved to see it drift away out of the penalty area. Vinagre tries to return, and very hard pressing, covering down by Gylfi Sigurdsson, blocks it out for a throw.
They've been good at that today, Everton. Sigurdsson in particular from that number 10 position has really got about this Wolves team single-handedly at times. He's demanded that his teammates back him up, and again on that occasion forcing the Wolves team to give away a throw-in.
The Wolves get it back here in the midfield. Great stats from coming through from Opta. For the first half an hour of this game, we've just played over an hour mark. First half an hour there was 12 shots, 7 on target. For the second half an hour of the game, there's been 1 shot, none on target, which sums quite a lot up. Iwobi gives it away in the midfield. Marco Silva's hopping mad down there, literally jumping up and down. Vinagre has it on the left for Wolves. Wolves have come back into this. It felt for a while like Everton were absolutely controlling the game, but Wolves are coming back into it a bit more now. Iwobi on the halfway line gives it back to Delph. Delph who's just picked up Everton's first yellow card of the match. And that's good work. He just weaves between Cutrone and Raul Jimenez and finds a pass out to Coleman in space. And there's a round of applause at Goodison Park. 2-1 Everton lead. Andre Gomez onto Richarlison. Down the right wing for Everton. He's given it in front of Coleman. Bowley has things covered. It's a dangerous pass that, but Bowley very confident. Touches it to Vinagre. Wolves will clear up towards the halfway line. Header won by Yerry Mina. Delph, combative but won't win possession. Raul Jimenez has it for Wolves. He's got Cutrone ahead of him. He's got Dendoncker to his right. He's going through the middle on his own here. Raul Jimenez took too many touches there, and Andre Gomez tackles him on the edge of the penalty area.
Oh, it's exactly right. Jimenez, I think they found themselves 4v4. Everton recovering players out of position, and he had Cutrone to one side, he had Neves to the other, he had Dendoncker up with him as well, and he just tried to do it all himself. Found himself in trouble, ran into, I think it was Gomez in the end that made the tackle, and a really good opportunity by Wolves goes away.
If Sadio Mane was Raul Jimenez's teammate there, he'd have stormed off and thrown a right strop in the dugout. It was that sort of a situation. 65 minutes on the clock. Pickford tries a very ambitious but perfectly executed, accurate pass out to Seamus Coleman.
Seems to catch Seamus Coleman unawares there. It was as if he wasn't expecting it.
What was Pickford expecting it? Was that what he was meaning? I'm praising the pass, but now I'm wondering if it was a fluke. Maybe not. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Neves, poor pass. He's not had many of those today. Richarlison tries to pounce to the other side, and he's got there. This is danger for Wolves. Richarlison tries to cut it back for Sigurdsson, and it in turn is intercepted by Bowley. And Bowley's got the wherewithal to clip it into space for João Moutinho. And some really good touches down there. This is an open flowing game. It's been great to watch as Delph regains possession bang on the centre circle. Late tackle comes in from Neves in the midfield, and the referee blows the whistle, and it's a free kick to Everton. There's no card shown. Sigurdsson, the player who's been fouled.
Well, Neves certainly isn't happy. Sigurdsson stayed down. I presume there was contact, but at first initial thought was that it was a good tackle, and
it's from behind, isn't it?
Haven't seen it again. I still think it's a decent tackle. He tries to come round the side. Yes, he does go to ground, but I think he's really hard done to there, Neves, and I can see why he's frustrated.
Right, Wolves have already brought on João Moutinho. They're about to bring on another of their regular starters, Diogo Jota, who started up front against Burnley last weekend. He's about to come on for the final 25 minutes. Here's Lucadinha into the penalty area, but he fouled Adama Traore on the way through, and that is going to come back for a free kick to Wolves.
It's become a good battle between Traore and Lucadinha. At the moment, both are winning in an attacking sense. Traore is terrific going forward, causing Lucadinha a lot of problems, but in turn, it's not natural for him to turn and go back, Traore. So Lucadinha's played a lot of 1-2s around him, got him behind him. Traore defended it really well on that occasion, but it's become a really good battle between the two.
Right, here's the change. Michael Keane will be glad to see the end of Patrick Cutrone for today. The Italian forward makes way, and Diogo Jota comes on. A man who won Wolves' goal of the season last year for his strike against Cardiff in March. Former Atletico Madrid player. And he will now partner Raul Jimenez as Wolves go in search of a goal back in this game to make it 2-2. Good hard running by Dendoncker there. Didn't think he was going to get there, but he's kept it in play by the byline. Wolves on the attack. Neves onto Jimenez, back to Bennett, midway inside the Everton half. Adama Traore is available on the right hand side, and good tracking back by Iwobi. Iwobi stops him in his tracks, and that goes out for a throw in to Everton, left full back position for them.
Yeah, it was good play by Iwobi. That realised he couldn't really leave Traore that high up in his own half. 1v1 against Lucadinha, as I've said, got back in between them, and they went 2v1. Iwobi went first, Lucadinha talking to him behind on the shoulder, and Traore had nowhere to go.
Throw in for Everton towards Moise Keane. Oh, he's done well there to get away from Bennett, but then ran into João Moutinho. Dendoncker back to Moutinho, 5 yards outside the Everton penalty area. They give it to Traore, who takes on Dean, and Lucadinha puts it out for a goal kick. Last touch must have come off Adama Traore. From this distance I couldn't see it. Adama Traore is appealing his innocence that he didn't touch it, but I think, to be fair, the assistant was right beside that, so if he's made a mistake there, it's a howler. He's seen something, he's seen the last touch off the Spaniard, and it's a goal kick.
Oh, you're right, he couldn't have been any closer, but again, it's great to watch these two going at it. Traore and Lucadinha, I've mentioned it many times already, going toe to toe and continuing to see who comes out on top.
Yeah, it's been an intriguing contest, this. The two teams led by Portuguese coaches. They're both sort of laid back characters, aren't they? Marco Silva and Nuno Espirito Santo. They're cool as a cucumber normally, and they've been holding their sort of static poses on the sidelines watching this game as Wolves come on the attack. Vinagre, crossing position, left hand side, sells a dummy, then a step over, couldn't get it back on his left boot. João Moutinho to Raúl Jiménez, tries to turn and he's left the ball behind, but it's held onto by Dendoncker, and Wolves hold on to possession. Adama Traore sends it in high and hopeful, headed down by Michael Keane, clearance completed by Richarlison up to Moise Keane. He can't hold it up, but Everton get it back again with Sigurdsson. This high octane tempo of the game continuing as Everton come on the attack now. Keane takes on Bowley, he's lost his boot, he's playing on with his sock, and eventually the referee blows the whistle and it comes back for a foul, and Anthony Taylor realising that the only reason he's lost his boot there is that Willy Bolly has stamped on it. It is going to be a free kick to Everton, and Everton are making a fuss about this because they know that Bowley is already on a yellow card.
Well, he's very fortunate really that it was only his boot. As the first contact was made, it looked like Bowley was going to bring him down, realised he had to take his hands off Moise Keane, end up standing on his foot. I don't think he's going to be given a second yellow card for standing on his boot and having that come off, but once the contact was made, he did really run the risk. Moise Keane getting down the outside, and up the other end, the Wolves again just giving away a really good opportunity to get the balls into the penalty area when both teams were getting crosses in the early part of the game, getting numbers in. That's when chances were come. Both teams are just taking too many touches when they get around the opposition's penalty area at the moment, and the chances are going begging because of it. Right,
we're going to go to Bellevue for update of the Rugby League in just a moment. Let's see what Everton do with this free kick first, by the way. I like that though, the way Moise Keane played on even when he lost the boot. I like that sort of youthful enthusiasm. And it was
only the fact that he slipped.
Yeah, well, it did, yeah, exactly. He would have kept going, yeah. Yeah, no studs in his socks. Here comes the free kick, played in by Sigurdsson. That's another good delivery. Bowley gets a header on it. Digne controls. He hit a few from long range last season. This one's deflected out for a corner. While we wait for that, Wakefield Trinity against Wigan Warriors. Here's Dave Woods.
23 minutes played. Wigan have scored. A long distance try from Liam Marshall after Wakefield dropped the ball. Marshall picked it up, raced over. Hardek has kicked it. So Wakefield 0, Wigan 6 in the other game. London 0, Leeds 12.
Thank you very much, Dave. Corner to Everton here. Luca Digne, who scored 4 goals last season. All of them were from outside the penalty area. He tried a long range effort there, deflected out for this corner, and it is the Frenchman who will take it. Here it comes, left footed, away from the goal. Yerry Mina takes a touch, hits an arm in there. It hit the arm of Bennett. Well, I don't think that was intentional handball. His arm was not in an unnatural position, but obviously the Everton players are up in arms. It cleanly strikes the arm. No penalty, Leon Osman.
Well, that's it. I don't think there's any doubt that the ball hit the arm of, I think it's Ryan Bennett. It looks like it come off his shin first, up into the arm. Certainly no penalty from my point of view, but with the introduction of VAR and the handballs decisions that have been given already this season, both attacking and defensively, you always want to ask the question.
Yeah, well, VAR will have reviewed it, but I think that was always going to be given as accidental. You never quite know in this day and age what is handball and what isn't. Here comes Adama Traore attacking down the right hand side. We'll have team use in the Emirates as soon as we get a break in play. Raúl Jiménez back to Ruben Neves in the midfield. Wolves, if anything, have stepped it up a gear with their passing. It's crisper since João Moutinho's come on. Here comes the cross. Vinagre from the left hand side, closed down by Seamus Coleman, and correspondent John Murray will bring us to team news for our 4:30 kickoff. Arsenal against Spurs.
Well, Aubameyang, Lacazette and Pepe start together for Arsenal for the first time. Ceballos and Willock are on the bench, with Torreira coming into midfield, and Kolasinac takes the place of Monreal, who moved on this week. Mesut Ozil is on the bench for the first time this season, and Tottenham have both Eriksen and Vertonghen in the team. It's a first appearance of the season for Vertonghen, with Walker-Peters out injured. Lucas Moura is a substitute, as is Dele Alli as he returns from injury.
Thank you, John. John Murray will be alongside Chris Sutton. Will be building up to Arsenal against Tottenham once the live football is over here. 17 minutes to go on the big stadium clock, and a break in play because Iwobi is receiving treatment. It's 2-1, but this doesn't feel like it's anything like done and dusted for Everton yet, and Marco Silva's actually got to make an attacking change in a moment. Calvert-Lewin is being prepared to be brought on.
I'll be surprised if that's not a straight swap for Moise Keane, who's just starting to tire a little bit. been lively in the second half without getting that chance that he wanted, but Wolves have been a much better outfit in the second half since Moutinho's come on. They've just lost their way before that. They weren't really keeping possession of the ball. Since he's come on, he's dictated the play, the passes. Neves has got someone to pass to, and they're starting to create opportunities in that Everton half.
It's going to be a double change. Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Bernard are going to come on, but not until after this Wolves throw-in, which is flicked on by Bolly. That's dangerous. Raúl Jiménez stoops to head it in from 2 yards out. He receives a kick to the face in the process, but once he gets over the sting of that, he won't care. 2-2. We had just said Everton's lead felt a bit perilous, and Raúl Jiménez with a brave header. 2-2, quarter of an hour to go. This is going to be a big finish now.
And we've spoken all afternoon about how dangerous Wolves can be from these long throw-ins. Bennett always goes over there. Bolly is such a huge unit inside that opposition penalty area. He just wins the first ball, flicks it on into a really dangerous position. Luca Dean just goes to sleep a little bit, allows Jimenez just to drift off his shoulder in behind him, and once he's got into that position on 6 yards out centre of the goal, as long as he's brave, he's going to score the goal, and brave he was. Heads the ball, takes contact from Luca Dean's foot to his face, but he won't mind about that. He scored a goal in the Premier League.
The Mexican Raúl Jiménez, Wolves' top scorer last season. Well, that really was taking one for the team. He gets a kick in the face, but in doing so, he heads the ball beyond Pickford. And we mentioned it a couple of times now this afternoon, how resilient Wolves are. You can take the lead against them, but they will keep coming back at you. And once again, in this game, they've been 1-0 down, back to 1-1. Then they were 2-1 down, back to 2-2. Calvert-Lewin's come on, and Bernard as well.
You just never feel like they're out of the game, even if they're under pressure and they haven't kept possession of the ball. They have the firepower to get themselves an opportunity, and certainly to put it in the back of the goal. And you know, they're such a big team as well, and long throws a real avenue of attack. They've done it then on that occasion as well, and Jimenez just gets himself in the right position. And you know, if there's balls bouncing in the penalty area, if you're not going to win the first ball, you try and win the second ball, and Jimenez was lively to that and scores from it.
Right, 2-1 to Everton here at Goodison. Let's just go for the closing stages of the Belgium Grand Prix with Jack Nicholls.
We're on lap 43 of 44. The cars are literally about to come past us to start the final lap of the race. Lewis Hamilton was 7 seconds away from Charles Leclerc, but now as they start the final lap, he is just a second and a half away. He is absolutely flying. Now they come across the line to start the final tour. There goes Leclerc, there goes Hamilton. Jolyon Palmer, former Renault F1 driver, alongside me. Well, one question. Can he do it? It's going to be so tight. There's just one lap to go and a few back markers in the way. This could play out brilliantly for Hamilton if the back markers don't let Leclerc through where they are right now as they fly through Eau Rouge up the hill. It's Lance Stroll, the immediate car that Leclerc's got to go through, and he must be praying that he just jumps out of the way right now as they head down the Kemmel Straight. The crowd are all on their feet in the grandstands. There's a huge lock-up in front as Nico Hülkenberg is battling with Lance Stroll, and Leclerc comes through there, and that doesn't seem to slow him down. Leclerc also is still looking to take his first Formula One victory. He started the race today with his third pole position, yet to convert one of those into a win. This is now where Hamilton really needs to be on it. He's now 1.2 seconds back from Leclerc, halfway around the final lap. There's a yellow flag out there in Sector 2, and off into the wall has gone one of the Alfa Romeos coming out of Pouhon. That waves the yellow flags, but that probably won't affect Hamilton and Leclerc's battle on this final lap.
It's Giovinazzi that's in the wall, but the cars are through that. It has meant, though, that Hamilton's not...
And then there's a McLaren grinding to a halt. It's Lando Norris on the final lap. Norris was in 5th position, having an absolutely superb race, but now the McLaren has ground to a halt right outside our commentary box window. Here's Giovinazzi's radio.
Tony, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
So Giovinazzi is okay. Here they come now towards the last corner, and Hamilton's within a second. He's only 7/10 away from Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Onto the brakes, through the final two corners. There's going to be yellow flags waving as Charles Leclerc comes out of the final turn and takes his first victory in Formula One. Just 0.8 of a second ahead of Lewis Hamilton at the line. Leclerc wins for Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton chased him down and finishes in second place. He still leads the championship. He extends his lead at the top of the championship. We'll have all the reaction on the Checkered Flag podcast, but Charles Leclerc wins for the first time in Formula One, Connor.
Thank you very much, Jack. Still 2-2 here at Goodison Park. Bernard has come on for Iwobi. Calvert-Lewin has come on for Moise Keane. Bernard with amazing dribble got into the Wolves penalty area but was tackled before he could get the shot away. All set for the grandstand finish here. 12 minutes to go plus the stoppages. Richarlison crosses in from the right hand side. Good defending by Ryan Bennett and he's able to clear it away. Bolly gets up and wins a header too, but Everton get it back in the midfield. Andre Gomez out into space on the left for Luca Dean. On to Bernard here now, who's right up against the edge of the pitch, up on the touchline. Gives it to Dean again. Oh, that's a really good cross. Richarlison arrived. What a brilliant goal. Luca Digne's cross. Richarlison's second of the match is a header that is tucked into bed, neat and tidy in the bottom corner. Just as Wolves get it back to 2-2, Wolves go down the other end and concede. It's Everton 3, Wolves 2.
I was just about to say, neither teams look like they're settling for the draw here. Both trying to commit players forward and get that crucial goal to get the 3 points. And it's Everton again. It's that battle down this near side to us. It's Luca Dean versus Traore. Attacking players come out on top every single time. And again on this occasion, Luca Dean gets down that left hand side, somehow manages to whip an unbelievable cross. Looks like it was going out into that middle of the penalty area, probably about 6 or 7 yards out centre of the goal, asking for someone to come and get on the end of it. And Richarlison applies that touch. He arrives perfectly, jumps above the Wolves defender, just glances it towards that far post. It bounces, the keeper's at full stretch, just cannot reach it with those fingers. And Richarlison puts his team back in front.
He scored twice against Wolves at Molineux last season. He has scored twice today at Goodison Park. And for the third time in this game, Everton take the lead. They went 1-0 up, they went 2-1 up, they've now gone 3-2 up in a game that continues to give and give. But do Wolves have it in them to go and equalise for a third time? Richarlison, who last season scored a lot of goals, August, September time, and then they dwindled a little bit for a while and he got going again towards the end of the season. Well, that was a real classy header, the way he got up so gracefully and then powered the header into the bottom corner. Throw in for Everton, taken by Digne, too high for Calvert-Lewin, cleared away by Conor Cody. Delph gets in, he's really added steel to the Everton midfield on his first Premier League appearance for the club. Fabian Delph, here comes Coleman, onto Richarlison on the right hand side, around the fullback into the penalty area, hits it left footed, saved by Rui Patricio. Bernard following up, sends it across. Willy Bolly's head is terrible. Bernard back into the mix, and it flashes across the goal, and it's still in play as it trickles towards the corner flag on the far side. Wow, Everton close to a fourth.
Well, it was absolutely terrific play from Richarlison on that right-hand side. He gets down on that, on the outside. I think it's a Vinagre on this occasion. Cuts onto his left foot, and you're thinking, just leave it into your teammate. He doesn't. He goes for that third goal. Bends it. Looks like it's going top corner. Patricio, full stretch. He does manage to reach it this time with that right hand. Keeps it out. Bernard then continues and messes up the rest of the attack, but terrific by Richarlison.
Everton 3, Wolves 2. It's been a 5-goal thriller. Strong challenge by Richarlison. Stops one of the Wolves players that he strikes down that left wing. Throw in to the visitors, who will remain on the attack. João Moutinho's got the ball in his hand, but he's got to leave it to the long throw expert, Ryan Bennett. So can Bennett, who's got to lean back in front of the Wolves fans, propel this into the penalty area and try and create something? There was a throw in the build-up to the Raúl Jiménez goal. What could they do here? Everton bring everyone back to defend it. Dendoncker flicks it on. This is dangerous. Down from Yeremina. Away by Andre Gomez. Off his knee. It didn't go very far. Neves turns very well. Gets a shot in. Takes a deflection. Fortunately for Everton, it deflects away from goal. That really could have gone anywhere. It's a corner to Wolves.
They got out really well in the end, Everton, to stop that Neves shot. He's the one player you cannot allow to shoot from the edge of the penalty area. Just as he's lining up that half volley to get his shot away, 2 or 3 Everton players come and block it and send it out for a corner kick,
which João Moutinho will take. All 11 Everton players in the penalty area. Moutinho, right-footed, low trajectory. Lucadinho, the front post, skimmed it on. And now it falls for Bernard. Chance of a counter-attack. He's got fresh legs, having just come on, but good pace from Adama Traore to get back and to make an interception. And he tries to set Wolves away. And Yerry Mina comes across, no messing, heads it directly out for a throw-in. However, it won't be a throw-in to Wolves. It's going to come back and be a free kick to Everton because Wolves were offside. So that is a free kick for Everton, who lead 3-2. Wolves make another change, and they're bringing on one of their summer signings, Pedro Neto, 19 years of age, Portuguese forward, who was with Lazio last season. He is signed for Wolves, a joint deal with Bruno Jordão. But it's Pedro Neto who has come on wearing number 7, and it looks like he's going to play on the right-hand side of the attack. Jota on the left, and Raúl Jiménez through the middle. But here comes the Everton substitute, Bernard, who's been bright since coming on. Gets into the Wolves penalty area again. Here's Andre Gomes. Oh, it just wouldn't sit up for him. He had a shot at his mercy there, but when he stretched to control it, he couldn't quite get there. Andre Gomes battles on to hold on to possession, but he's no longer in a shooting position. He's out by the sideline. Gives it into Seamus Coleman, edge of the Wolves penalty area. Pressured by Diogo Jota. Everton hold on to possession, but they're back now near the halfway line. Fabian Delph, short to the feet of Andre Gomes. Nice partnership developing between those two. Sigurdsson will go and chase, but Conor Cody beats him and clears it out. Oh no, Coleman's kept it in play out there. Everton remain on the attack for now. Calvert-Lewin stands patiently in the middle. Sigurdsson jigs one way, then the other, and he's tackled by Vinagre, and that's out for an Everton throw.
Oh, what, despite whatever the result will be in this game, it's been a terrific advertisement for the Premier League. It's not necessarily been all about possession and finding gaps and scoring those perfect goals. It's been all action, it's been entertainment, there's been efforts on goals, there's been tackles, there's been no time given, no quarter given in the middle of the pitch at times, and it's been a really entertaining game of football. Very entertaining game. 5 minutes plus the stoppages to go. And some of the stewards at Goodison Park going to their end of match positions. Everton have got a corner. Let's quickly nip to Dave Woods and get an update on Wakefield Trinity against Wigan Warriors.
6, Wigan 10. Liam Marshall's second and extended it to 10-0 for Wigan, but James Batchelor on the end of a scrappy ball in the in-goal area managed to pounce on it. Brough kicked the goal, so Wakefield 6, Wigan 10, London nil, Leeds 18.
Corner comes in from Sigurdsson, the header by Yerry Mina, saved by Rui Patricio. Good header by the Colombian, but Rui Patricio, diving down to his right, is able to get it away. Everton will have another corner, this time on the left-hand side. Well, that's terrific play all around. Great corner by Gylfi Sigurdsson, just leaves it on the penalty spot, right in the air. Yerry Mina rises like he did in the first half, higher than anyone else, gets a good header this time, down into the ground, and Patricio, a full stretch, just manages to keep it out. Good save. That's the best save Rui Patricio's made in the match so far. He's been beaten 3 times today. Corner to Everton from the left. Lucadinho plays it in, headed again by Mina, and this time off target. But he is going to be a useful asset for Everton in those set-piece positions. I mean, he's built like an NBA basketball player. The leap that he can achieve, and arguably should have had it on target, given the sort of, by the time he got up there, the fact that it was such a free header. Well, I was speaking earlier in the first half that he should do more for his size and his leap that he has, and you know, he's followed that up in this second half. We're getting on the end of a couple more, and Everton fans and the manager Marco Silva will be hoping that he can continue to do that for the rest of this season. Bang on, 3 minutes of normal time to go. Bennett beats Calvert-Lewin in the air. João Moutinho flicks on a header to Vinagre. Wolves battling hard, but they're still inside their own half. Richarlison's really pumped up today. He's on a hat-trick now, of course. He tries to put pressure on Vinagre. Vinagre hustles with him, and then there's a foul on Diogo Jota, who I don't even think was in possession of the ball when he was clattered into. Spotted by the referee Anthony Taylor, and Wolves are going to have a free kick here, some 20 yards inside the Everton half. There's only 2.5 minutes to go, but this feels like it isn't over yet. Wolves remain so threatening, and they're just going for it now. They're sending everyone up in attack in these closing stages at Goodison Park. Yeah, it was just the coming together off the ball between, I think it was Jota and Gomez that gives this free kick. And moments before, when the ball was in the Everton penalty area, there was a little bit of panic setting in by Everton players, all going for the same ball. So this game's far from over. Free kick to be taken by João Moutinho. Here it is, guided in. Raúl Jiménez tried to flick it on, but he got too much on it. It just went up into the air. And then Yerry Mina could head it away. It's knocked back in by Traore, but that's not threatening anyone. And it rolls through to Jordan Pickford. Everton are almost there for a win that, well, we speculated quite a lot about it before the match, the defining nature of this game ahead of the international break. Win this one, we said, and they'll feel it's been a very good start to the season. Don't think that's going to change now. But can they hold on to this 3-2 margin of victory? Pickford goes long, wants it down the other end. Calvert-Lewin's done well in the air, but Dendoncker nips in and wins it back for Wolves. Bolly clears away, straight down the middle, controlled by Yerry Mina. Dendoncker can't get a firm touch on it. Bennett does. João Moutinho, ball bouncing on one side and the other, either side of the halfway line. Bennett skews it forward again. The sort of head tennis nature continues. Raúl Jiménez eventually gets it back down on the deck, but he's running away from the end that Wolves want to go, and he's tackled by Yerry Mina. The loose ball rolls for Bennett. He sends one over the top, but that smacks of desperation, and that's going to roll through to Pickford, and we're into the final minute of the 90. Everton 3, Wolves 2.
It is, but again, it's been so competitive. The ball's 15 yards inside Wolves' half. Wolves are desperate to get it forward. There's no thought of Everton players turning and running towards their own goal. The pressure on the ball everywhere on the field from both sets of players has been immense today, and it really has added to the spectacle.
Last time Wolves came here in February, it was also a high-scoring game. They won it by 3-1. Are they about to lose here now by 3-2? And well, there'll be all the opinion pieces about how the Europa League isn't going to help Wolves, and how they've had to dilute their resources across all the competitions, and I'm sure there'll be much said about it before their next in action. Chelsea, their opponents after the international break. This is Bernard stretching for the ball. Raúl Jiménez gets there first. It's not kept in play by Pedro Neto, and that goes out for an Everton throw, and they'll take their time over this. Mike Dean is preparing the board to tell us what's going to be added on for stoppages. Marco Silva comes up close to see it, and then he turns away in disgust because it's 5 minutes being added on. Everton need to hold on for another 5.
Yeah, it wasn't the best from Marco Silva. They certainly wasn't pleased with the 5 minutes. But similarly on the other side of the pitch, Nuno Espirito Santos is now trying to get a little bit more out of his team. 5 minutes to go. Can they create one more opportunity and get themselves back into this game?
Yeah, there's still a somewhat harum-scarum nature to the Everton defence there. They're a bit cat on a hot tin roof when it comes towards them. Pickford clears it long. He just wants it down the other end. It's too high for Bernard. Bennett will get there first, and all he can do is put it out for an Everton throw. And that's what the Goodison fans want. They want to pin Wolves in now. Marco Silva close to a win. So close he can touch it, but they haven't got it yet, Everton. This is Bernard. Bright yellow boots. Look to be fouled from behind by Adama Traore. Play on, says the referee. Delph twists one way and then the other. And then from the halfway line, he'll give it all the way back to Pickford. And that's shrewd, just running the clock down now, Everton. Pickford pumps it long. Bennett beats Calvert-Lewin in the air. Andre Gomez gets there ahead of Jota. This is Coleman over the halfway line, right up centre in midfield. Coleman was fouled after he released the pass, fouled by Vinagre. Anthony Taylor brings it back for an Everton free kick. Leon Osman.
Yeah, good play by Seamus Coleman. Just as the ball was just starting to ricochet around in the centre circle, he just put his foot on it, decided to run with the ball, take a bit of sting out of the game. Vinagre ended up fouling him, gives a free kick away, and now Everton really can try and just manage this game in the next 5 minutes and get Gomez on the ball, start dictating a few passes and deny Wolves the opportunity to attack.
Everton hoping for another home win. They've been turning Goodison into a real fortress over the last 6 months or so. Luca Digne wins a corner, and Wolves have got to haul their tired bodies back into the penalty area. I mean, truth be told, there's not been much between the two sides today, but the goal in favour of Everton has them with a 3-2 lead. Digne takes the corner short with the help of Calvert-Lewin. They're trying to run the clock down by the corner flag. Now it's back to Bernard, and he'll give it back to the halfway line. And Michael Keane. Pedro Neto, the young substitute, is gamely chasing after this, but Wolves chasing shadows really at the moment. Coleman onto Richarlison, who's been great today. This is Sigurdsson in the penalty area, tackled by Bolly. Good tackle. And Bolly hoofs it away up towards the halfway line, but it's straight to Yerry Mina. His powerful header goes back towards the Wolves penalty area. Bernard can't take it down on his chest. João Moutinho comes away with it on the deck. This is Adama Traore. Can they utilise his pace? Low pass up to Raúl Jiménez, who'll cut in off the right wing. This is a chance for Wolves if they can find a bit of space here for Vinagre on the left. Oh, he's miscontrolled it. Richarlison is in to win, and Vinagre's frustrated. He hacks out of Richarlison, and he's going to go into the book, and it's it was Neto. It was Neto's challenge, and it's a yellow card for the youngster. I was just getting worried there because Vinagre was already booked in the game, but it wasn't him, it was Neto. So that's another yellow card for Wolves, but for a different player.
Yeah, it was just a bit sloppy. Wolves attacked really well down this right-hand side. Traore made a great run in behind, the man who's been dangerous all afternoon. Give him the ball, Jimenez, just let him free, let him run down this right-hand side. Jimenez cut in onto his left foot, tried to play a cross-field pass to Neto. Neto's first touch was poor. Richarlison nipped in and he ended up receiving his yellow card for it, and Everton are delighted with that.
Just as Raul Jimenez cut in off the right wing there, you thought, maybe they're going to get a late chance here, Wolves, but Everton now get it away down the other end. Tricky Bernard tries to roll it into Calvert-Lewin, but it's won back by João Moutinho. Moutinho's really made a difference to the Wolves midfield since coming on. Here's a chance for Calvert-Lewin, shoots, but blocked at source by Boli. Neto has it for Wolves on the halfway line, looks up and spots space for Vinagre on the far side, pumps a long range pass towards him. Richarlison, who's so pumped up, gets across there, gets right in the face of Vinagre and puts it out for a Wolves throw. Richarlison's been really good today, Luca Digne's been really good today, Delph as well. Here come Wolves. Diogo Jota can't get on the end of a 1-2. The loose ball falls for Richarlison, who'll run with Son on his back down the right wing. Bolly's collided rather forcefully with him, and I think Bolly's going to go here. Willy Bolly, already on a yellow card, is shown a second yellow, and then it's a red, and Wolves are going to finish this game with 10 men. Willy Bolly is dismissed for that foul on Richarlison.
Well, from an Everton point of view, it's great from Richarlison. Last minute of the game, he's 2v1 against him, and he just decides, I'm going to run at you both. I'm going to run into the corner, commit defenders, and from Wolves' point of view, Bolly he got too close. He tried to get behind Moutinho to help him 2v1. He gambled. He tried to nip in and get the ball off Richarlison, and once Richarlison skipped past him, Bolly had no real choice but to body check him, see Richarlison out, and you're always going to get a second yellow card for that.
That is Wolves' first red card in the Premier League this season, and with it probably goes their final chance of getting back. Yeah, there is the final whistle. Well, it ends with a sour note of a red card, but celebration for Evertonians. 5 goals, it was a thriller, and a game that kept us gripped right the way through the afternoon. We've got the North London derby coming up on 5 Live at 4:30. I hope it's half as good as that game, Leon Osman. Very enjoyable, and a big win for Everton.
Well, it's a huge win for Everton going into the break coming up. Both teams were desperate to get the 3 points. You can look at Everton now and say it's a pretty good start to the season. Wolves, on the other hand, 3 draws and a defeat, still without a win in the Premier League. We'll be thinking the opposite, but both teams really took part in this game today. It was a terrific game. No quarter given. The quality was good. The goals were fantastic. The competitive nature in the middle of the field was there all afternoon. And I hope I see a lot more games like this season.
So the goals for Everton, 2 for Richarlison, the other for Iwobi, his first in the Premier League for his new club. Saiz and Jimenez scored for Wolves. Wolves finished with 10 men after the red card for Willy Bolly, and it ends Everton 3, Wolves 2. What a game.